Hello and welcome to Istanbul for one of the most eagerly anticipated weekends of the volleyball calendar. It's the Women's Champions League Final Four, and the first game is maybe as mouth-watering as it gets, as VakifBank Istanbul took a fourth last year, are up against an Imoco side looking for the three-peat. My name's Lett. I am over the moon to be your commentator again, joined by Michel this year, as we're just going to have a little walk around the Imoco Arena. Now, if you're unsure of the Imoco Arena, it's one of the biggest facilities in Istanbul. On Thursday night, it held a EuroLeague qualifier between Fenerbahce looking to go into the EuroLeague. The team here literally had 24 hours to flip this from a basketball arena into a volleyball arena for a Champions League final. We're in exactly the same spot as we were last year, where Imoco were just immaculate, and they ended up beating Scandicci 3-0 in one of the best performances in a Champions League final I think we've ever seen. And they're bringing back the majority of the squad for this game. Imoco will go up against VakifBank first of all. That game starts in just around about an hour or so, and then afterwards is Eczacıbaşı up against Scandicci, looking to make a second final in a row. So we got a great team in here. We know this, we were here last year, so welcome. If you're watching last year and you're back with us again today, this is the Imoco Arena, and as you can see the logos of the teams arrived quite a while ago. So usually we take you around this walkthrough and we meet the teams on the way through. But tonight they're already in, they're already locked in, to be honest, as we start to have a look on the wall. All of the achievements of Fenerbahce in terms of basketball. Again, they just, in a volleyball sense this year, they missed out on a golden set loss once again. It seems like every year Fenerbahce miss out on the Champions League Final Four through a golden set loss. So this is where the players will be coming out in just a moment. There's Eczacıbaşı's changing room on the right, and then on the left you have the VakifBank one as well. And you can see it's a perfect spot for such a prestigious tournament. For me, it doesn't get any bigger than this than the CV Champions League, as we might just need our crew. Look at them. They're always setting everything up behind the scenes, and then as soon as their time to shine in front of the camera, they all go away like pigeons. They all just fly away as quickly as possible. So Imoco, once again, league champions in the Italian league, winning the Scudetto just last week. VakifBank back on top in Turkey, so the first clash very much is a Champions League final in some ways, and some people are building it up as a Champions League final as well. But come into the Imoco Arena, this is where the interviews will be taking place in here, and boom, it's a thing of beauty, isn't it? Okay, and if this doesn't make you excited for what's to come, then I really don't know what will, because VakifBank took a fourth last year. I remember Guidetti was telling us that it was just a little bit of a young team, a little bit of an inexperienced team. Imoco, there's no inexperience there. You think Gabby used to play for VakifBank. Zhu Ting's won twice for VakifBank as well. As we're going to try and find the best way through here. I don't think that narrow gap's going to fit me through these days anyway. We're going to keep walking around. Wow. Okay, who are these guys supporting? Hello, how are you? Good. Okay. Who are you supporting? Zhu Ting. So you're supporting Imoco CONEGLIANO?
Yeah.
But you have the VakifBank colours as well, huh? But Zhu Ting, always. She's amazing, isn't she? And she's so well supported. More Panther fans over here. Hello, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
And who are you supporting? Imoco?
Yes, I'm always support shooting and
So you supported Zhu Ting when she was playing for VakifBank, and now you support Imoco because she's at Imoco?
Oh, because shooting.
Because of Zhu Ting. And why not? She's one of the best players to ever do it. Hello, everyone. Look at the Zhu Ting fans in here. Ladies, how are you? We're going to come to you for a quick interview.
All right.
As always, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Very well. You look like a volleyball player.
Yeah, I am.
Who do you play for?
I play for Fenerbahce for the U19.
For the U19.
Yeah.
So one day this is going to be you.
Yeah, one day. I hope so. I mean, I'm really sad that our team we couldn't stay here for this season. But yeah, I hope one day I'm gonna be able to be here to play here. It's a dream for everyone.
I hope Do you think that Fenerbahce can get over losing golden sets?
Well, I don't know. I think it happened like this season, and it was the same scenario like we had last season. And I don't know, like some of the fans or I don't know news, they say like it's a bad luck. But I don't know. I hope like next season or for a few seasons we are gonna have a better result.
I hope so, because they lost to Skandici this year in the golden set. Antropova just goes back and serves really, really well. Thank you. And I hope that we see you out here in a couple of years' time as well. As we're going to have a little run through here. And Key Michael is commentating with me, right in my firing line, Key, because we're going to go and see Giovanni Guidetti in just a moment. But let's walk around here the long way, and then we'll see Giovanni as well. We're expecting 15,000 people in here. So we're in a position of, I don't know, it's luxury, isn't it? Turkey is one of, if not the best place to watch volleyball. We have Poland, we have Italy as well, but there's something special about Turkey and the fans, and it's intriguing that Zhu Ting, who won twice with VakifBank when she was here, now all of the VakifBank fans have turned into Imoco fans. Her and Gabby, that will be a big duo this evening, but also Tiana Boskovic, now playing for VakifBank, having played for Ekşakabasi for so long. She's looking for her first Champions League title in this season, playing in yellow as well. So we come around here, the warm-up's ready, as we can see also some others down here. Hello, how are you guys?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
I would say that you are also young volleyballers as well.
Yes. Yeah.
And do you play for Fenerbahce?
Yes.
Okay, and who are you supporting here then? Because Fenerbahce just missed out on the Final Four. Who's your favourite team? VakifBank, Ekşakabasi? It's tough, huh?
Fenerbahçe, nothing else.
Yeah, just Fenerbahce, nothing. It's tough. It's tough in Istanbul because you have so many. Hang on, my mic flat's come off. That's TV. As you have so many teams that you support, and there's so many teams and rivalries. We will see you here one day, right? In the big one. Good luck with everything. Let's keep walking around. As it's great that we have a lot of different people from a lot of different nations that have travelled in today, and it's also great to have the youngsters here with us for another great weekend. Skandici Ekşakabasi is going to be an interesting one. They played each other 4 times in the last couple of years, 4 times in one season to be exact, where the spoils were shared, but Skandici won the big, Ekşakabasi won the big ones going through the playoffs. So we're going to see 2 teams. The only team that haven't won it is Ekşakabasi. Sorry, Ekşakabasi won it in 2015. Skandici haven't won it. Last year was their first final, their first silver medal as well. So we're going to come around here, and I'm going to try and see some more fans as well. Okay. It's like the calm before the storm here, everyone, today. As I'm making a beeline for Giovanni Guidetti. I don't mind if Key's doing her research as well. We haven't got long left. We're coming. If you see this duo over here, this is the duo that we're going to come and join the conversation with in a minute. Key, Giovanni, can we jump in with? Can we jump in with you? Giovanni, I thought so. How are you, my friend?
Good,
Always lovely to see you.
Good to see you.
How's life?
Not bad. Not bad. We are here, so we are happy to be here. We have to enjoy the moment.
You're always here. That's never a year you're not. Last year we spoke, because I know that your time is very important. We spoke about maybe just a lack of experience in the Final Four last year, that the team weren't quite ready to step up. You've made some big changes this year, so confidence and expectation must be a little bit higher.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we make some changes and we are in a good condition. Last year also we came here with not a great physical condition. We are ready, and the player that last year had the first Final Four, this year will be at least the second Final Four, and we had some player with a lot of experience. And yeah, we are ready. I mean, we play against a very, very strong team.
Crazy.
And very, very strong team. So hopefully will be enough. But I just hope that we can play our best volleyball. I hope we can play free, and then, you know, the court will decide who win. I just want that my team give the best we can, because we can play very good volleyball. And I hope that last year we were tense, and this year will be more free.
You talk about playing free. Can I just ask you, what does free look like to you in terms of reception or serving or offense?
Attack, mostly. Attack, service, you know, not conservative. You know, Conegliano is not a team you can play to not make mistake. You have to play to make a point.
Absolutely. And one last thing, you've coached Shooting, you know her well. You've coached Gabby, you know her well. How much does that help you?
Bella.
Yeah, you coach Bella too. Sorry, yeah,
Nisha.
everybody. So, how much does that help you in these moments?
Nothing.
Nothing, nothing at all. And I thought that would be the answer.
Just remind me how good they are.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much. It's always a big pleasure. I saw your football skills actually as well. Shame about Italy with the World Cup. Next World Cup, huh? Yeah, next World Cup, Giovanni. Yeah, no World Cup for Italy. England will be there, and we're excited. Always a great guy, Giovanni Guidetti, and I always love speaking to him. I was hoping that we could catch Key Michael as well, but I don't know where she's actually gone. Where is Key Michael? It doesn't matter anyway. We're going to stay doing some laps and see who else we can find, but ideally we want to talk to Daniele Santarelli before this one, because he has a chance this year to become a 4-time winner with this amazing Imoco side. That performance last year was something incredibly special, and can they repeat that? Who knows? But this first game, you could feel it from Giovanni. It's important. This could be a final. The champions of Turkey are up against the champions of Italy, and you think that Kiev haven't lost this year in the Champions League. You think that Imoco only lost when the tie was already over against Zeren Ankara in the quarterfinal, and they could put the bench out a little bit. So you can say that Imoco have lost, but they haven't really. On the net, statistically, VakifBank are stronger than Imoco, but Imoco's base level seems to be higher, less errors, but also the ability that they have so much depth in their roster. They've used more and more. Oh, hang on. They've used more and more players than anybody else. Can someone, Key Michael, my co-commentator today? Oh my days.
I never feel so famous as when I come to Turkey. Actually, that's a lie. Thailand as well. But the fans here are so lovely.
Is there ever a bad day to be Key Michael, is my question. I've never known him. We've been knowing each other a long time.
Wait, let me come interview you.
Yeah, come over. There's never a bad day to be Key Michael, is there? Flowers at the Champions League, and as I said, it's different here in Turkey, the way that it works, the way that they love their volleyball. But today's battle's going to be Markova on the left side, Boskovic in from Ekşakabasi, looking for that first title. Can they put it together? Cansu Özbay's looking for another final, and in the middle, Ogbogu coming back in, a 2-time Champions League winner when VakifBank did the double 22 and 23, is a big deal for Giovanni Guidetti. I think if I had another question, I would ask him, what does Chiaka Ogbogu bring to this side? Because she knows the DNA of VakifBank. She understands what Giovanni expects. And in turn, I think she takes them up another level with Zara Gunesh. From a blocking point of view, they will be strong this evening against Imoco, but Imoco won't give them anything for free. And as you said, Giovanni Guidetti asking his side to play free and take the shackles off, because these are big games. And VakifBank are never really the underdog. I mean, they've won 6 of these. They're looking for their 10th final. But you feel that tonight they really could be the underdog. But have a look at this. We're in Istanbul, in the hometown of VakifBank Istanbul. Yes, it's Fenerbahce's home, but it's a big deal here this evening. Key, I thought you were coming over. See, this is the difference between me and Key Michael. I could not fit through there. If my life depended on it, I would be too like this.
I probably could have gone over the legs too. All right, Lewie. Big match coming up. Are you nervous? Are you excited?
I'm not nervous. Sorry, I said go and take it.
Yeah, I'm interviewing you, sir.
I'm not nervous. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I think it could go either way. I think Imoco on paper are so incredibly strong. Error counts low. They have depth. They have a bench they can lean on, even though they're without Kiri Keller, that we haven't spoke about yet. But I also feel that VakifBank's ceiling is high. So if Markova can get going, Boskovic can get going, Chiaka can get going, Ogbogu can get going, and Zara Gunesh, they have it. They have the side.
I got a pop quiz for you. How do you pronounce the team that's playing in the next match?
This is always tough.
Come on, you got this.
Ekşakabasi.
Ooh, I think that was pretty good.
Ekşakabasi and
Edge Zajabashi. I've always been saying it's Zajabashi,
Yeah.
but they told us it's Edge Zajabashi.
yeah, and Çebiçoğlu.
Oh yes, and Cevicholu.
Çebiçoğlu, that's it.
If we mess up all the pronunciations, please don't cancel us. We are trying our best.
A, don't cancel us. B, leave us alone. It's difficult out here.
Out here.
I was saying today,
Love you guys.
yeah, and we love Key as well. It's This is the first time that we've ever had two commentators.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, I know.
Thank you for welcoming me. I'm in your house.
I'm interviewing you now.
There.
This is way more comfortable. Amazing to have you here. First Champions League Final Four. How does this compare for you?
Oh, are we doing serious interviews now?
Yeah.
I thought this was all silly Billy.
No, I just want a serious answer, like for you. Because on commentary, I'm not going to ask you this question. I want to know how it feels.
Look, I am so excited to be on site because I feel like I've done so many of these from the comfort of my own pajamas in my own bedroom. So it's so cool to feel the energy. You know, Turkey have the most amazing volleyball fans possibly in the world. So I'm just excited we get to see the rafters full of them.
And if you were rich, Key, and if you had $100, who would you put your money on this weekend?
I'm rich in friendships
You are.
and love.
Who would you put your money on?
Today? Oh man, it's tough. I'm gonna go with, since we're in Turkey, I kind of feel like VakıfBank.
You think Vakif are going to do it?
It's their home.
They have to play so well, though.
They have played so well, but then anything can happen.
Who's the lucky person?
I have an admirer. I'm not gonna tell you who it is.
I've known Key Michael for a long time, and everywhere she goes, she has admirers. Me on the other hand, never.
I'm your secret admirer.
Yes. Yeah, there you go. Key, enjoy it. We'll be there in just a moment. No, you're definitely more important. We're actually waiting for Santarelli and Imoco because I don't know where they are. Okay. So isn't it great to have Key here? Makes everything that little bit more smiley and lovable through here for Champions League weekend. As we said, Ece Akabasi are here. Third in the league. Scandici also not making the final in Italy, but Scandici are the World Club Champions where they beat Imoco. That's a rarity, but that will give Bari some real confidence for Italian coaches competing for the title this week as well. You really feel like on their day, Scandici can really do it. Yes, they're without the likes of Britt Herbods, who's left, and there's rumours going around that Kate Antropova could be playing her last game for Scandici this evening or this weekend. Tomorrow evening she'll be playing for a medal regardless of this Champions League. So Ognjenovic, she struggles, she's still looking for that gold. She's somebody else that's played for just about everybody here, and at the back end of her career, but she's also struggled for injuries throughout this tournament. But you feel that if she's fit, she'll be ready to go, and Gasparo will just chuck her straight in there. And my biggest worry for them is that they haven't played as much volleyball over the last month. So you could see, Guidetti said last year, VakifBank were physically struggling. It'll be interesting to see how Scandici are after having a little bit of a break. Still waiting for Santarelli to maybe come out and have a word with us. Giovanni's out, and he is more than ready. And I feel that's a bit of a statement in itself. He's organised. There's nobody that's won this more than Giovanni Guidetti, and I'm a big fan. He's a lovely guy, as we've just found out yet again. So Santarelli, he's looking for his fourth title, and that would move him up into second place in terms of the most successful coaches in Women's Champions League history. Big deals happening, not just for the players, but for the coaches as well. For Imoco, they do make less errors in sets than anybody else. They are the steadiest. They have got a roster that, even though Kiri Keller is out with an ACL, hey, you can replace her with Marina Lubian, who's got Olympic gold medal. I think that she's very quick in the middle. She's got a great serve, but they will miss that relationship with Kiri Keller and with Joanna Volosh as well. He's looking, I think, for a 7th title. Monica Di Gennaro. How do you break this Imoco side? You've got the best libero, I think, who's ever lived out there, who's won every league and every Champions League with Imoco. She was part of the 3 teams that came second, took the silver. She's experienced the heartbreak, but she's also experienced the glory as well, Monica Di Gennaro. And she's experienced 3 wins with Imoco. And that is just an amazing story. I think she's been playing with them for I don't know how many years, a lot. For Scandici, if it is Antropova's last turn, they're going to need her to serve incredibly well. That is going without a doubt. There's going to be a lot on Verzetti as well. Linda Nwakalor in the middle is leading the charge with blocks. 35 blocks in the middle. She's had a game of 9 blocks, 8 blocks. At Ece Akabasi, she's going to be up against Jack Kissau, who's also had a marvellous competition. As Ece Akabasi have got 3 players who have scored in over 100 points in this competition. At the same time, though, for Brogoli, and what is his first Champions League Final Four as a coach, he is he's not sort of tampered with his team too much, and you can understand why. Stysiak playing on that right side. And let's just see if we've got a quick word with Santarelli. Have a look over there, guys, and have a look and see. It looks we're just so lucky to be here and witness these great athletes, Olympic gold medalists, world champions. We've got the absolute lot, and the first game between Imoco and VakifBank will be a real treat. So many people think that the winner of this game will go on to win the Champions League. I think Scandici and Jakabasi will have something to say about that with their rosters and their routes to the final and some of the players that they have. As we will leave you with a look of VakifBank Istanbul. You can find us on Eurovolley TV at 4:30. So I have to run because the commentary box is just up there. We'll be back tomorrow, I think, with a little bit more time for a watch around as the music's pumping, and I think we're all ready to go. Enjoy the Final Four. It's amazing to be here with you. It's my favorite weekend of the year, no doubt about it. VakifBank are here. Go and have a look at those guys.
Okay. One thing important for the next
These clubs have met 3 times in a gold medal match. The Turkish team won in 16-17 and 2022. Everything under that man's guidance. Giovanni Guidetti is going to have to answer a lot of questions from Daniele Santarelli this evening.
Shooting was top scorer for VakıfBank ISTANBul in that semi-final in 2017-18. She's currently playing for Carraro Prosecco de Conegliano. O karşılaşmada 2017-2018'de shooting yarı finalde VakıfBank katıldığı 24 sayıda en skorer oyuncuydu ve şu anda da Conegliano formasıyla sahada.
Absolutely huge thing. Also up against her former team this evening. Somebody that's won this twice. Libyan, obviously we've spoken about coming in here. An Olympic gold medalist that hasn't been a starter. Pat is somebody that Guidetti will know he has to silence early. And then there's Monica Di Gennaro, who for me is the best libero to ever do it.
VakıfBank ISTANBul can reach the gold medal final of the championship for a record 6th and 10th time, all under coach Giovanni Guidetti. They won the Champions League.
Well, one of the newbies to keep an eye on that's changed from last year, there's a couple, Tiana Prosecco, who was at Jakubas for a long time before moving to VakifBank. A lot of eyes to be on her this evening, but Jaka Ogbogu, the part of the VakifBank side that went back-to-back underneath Giovanni Guidetti's guidance in 22 and 23. She's going to be massive, and I feel that, well, we just spoke to Giovanni Guidetti too, this team are much more experienced than the team that we saw last year. We have a Marina Markova, who's got another season under her belt. Toskovic, we have a Bogu back. Dansu Herzbai has a lot of experience. Talking of Markova, I think a lot rests on her shoulders this evening.
Carraro Prosecco de Conegliano to become the first club to win the Women's CV Championship 3 times in a row. Carraro Prosecco de Conegliano, kadınlar SEG Şampiyonlar Ligi'ni üst üste 3 kez kazanan ilk kulüp olmayı hedefliyor.
Yeah, they really do. With Boskovic at 194 on the right side, Marina Markova's at 2 meters. So that high ball, she still has a lot of angles that she can go after. Maybe one of the question marks this evening is how can she deal with the pass? There is Markova, 174 points, and it's going to be a tough task this evening for Isabel Hack. When she's in a rotation, she has to get past Markova at the net. So it could be a tough evening for Bella Hack this evening.
I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. The Markova matchup is going to be really interesting as Markova plays through the left side, Hack plays through the right side for Imoco CONEGLIANO. She's the MVP of the Champions League from the last 2 seasons. This has the feeling already key that this is a final. It feels like a big, big matchup. But it's still so open. Candice might have not had as good a league campaign this year to make this to the finals, but they have won the Club World Championship, and Candice at Jakubas will be very interesting to keep an eye on. Candice won't be scared of the winner of this game, and I don't think that Brogoli, now with Jakubas, will be fighting either.
İlk şarkımız servis olacak. Maçta servis sayısı olduğu zaman türüne kalınacak Türker Spor Zarı'nda ve duyacağımız şarkıyla birlikte maskot AC'nin yaptığı koreografi yapmanızı istiyoruz sizlerden.
We just saw Dutch international Mika Calderop, who made that swap with Carlia Lanier last year. Milano, Imoco changed, and Calderop's been coming in off the bench You wouldn't think that she's in the first 6 this evening, but we get to find it out, as you would think that Xu Ting and Gabby are Santarelli's go-to on the pin. But Dowdorop certainly does bring some physicality off the bench, somebody that can really still put the ball away. There's the two middles, by the way, your favourite
Karşılaşmada milyon sayısı olduğu zaman tüm elleri kaldıralım. Şimdi ülke spor salonuna kaldıralım. Aynı tüm elleri. Gelsin şarkı. Monster, monster, monster, monster, monster, monster, monster, monster,
Yeah, Dowdorop's made 2 starts, 5 substitute appearances. Gabby's also struggled with injuries this season, meaning that she's only started 3 of 8 Champions League games. But she's won everything, but maybe a big event for Brazil. But in terms of club volleyball, she's having some career. Let's see how she goes. I think she's going to have a special Final Four weekend. Yeah, she certainly does. And we just asked Giovanni Guidetti. My question was, Giovanni, you've coached most of the players on the other side. Does that help you prepare? And he said, no, it only reminds me of how good they are. And that sort of tells you everything you need to know. Xu Ting made a lot of news probably 10 years ago about coming from China to play in Europe and to join up with VakifBank ISTANBUL. She had a very, very good time there. She then came back again, played for Scandici, and then Santarelli said, I'm taking you with me to this Imoco side. And Xu Ting, if you look around here this evening in the stands of the Olka Arena, she has a lot of fans here that once came out. Jana Boskovic, there's so many stars on show this evening, so we'll go from Xu Ting to Boskovic, which is wild. 2018 world champion was when I saw her burst on the scene. You feel that her, Kazut, they give a real good flip. Shanzu Ozbai has the task of pulling it all together this evening. She's never lost a final. Xu Ting, 3 finals, 1 with Imoco CONEGLIANO, 2 with VakifBank, going back to back in 17 when they beat Imoco. But in their way are the Imoco CONEGLIANO team, hoping for the three-peat, having won this competition the last 2 years in a row. Final Four is set up beautifully, and our team in the arena have done an incredible job of bringing this Champions League once again to life in Istanbul. Michel next to me clapping her hands, and if we weren't excited for this first semi-final, I think we're both smiling in anticipation now. Me too. Well, it's time to meet our team. So Monica De Janeiro, who's stepped away from the national team after winning the World Championships. Starting shooting on the outside the squad on the is due to this side in her first finals. Jenna Ewart, also one of the remainers from Imoco CONEGLIANO. She's from California, was the best setter in the German league, and is about half the MVP of these last two Champions League campaigns. 3 golds, 1 silver to the hand. the more inside the ball is, the more she can get her feet there and divert the ball in the sharp angle. There's no surprise that Zhu Ting is the early target on the front court, and Marina Markova is the target as well. There's no touch off the block, nothing's been given. And Moco are going absolutely crazy here, and eventually I think there's a challenge coming in from Santorelli, because that ball from Markova was almost hit at the bottom of the net band. I think we have to. Markova's had it. Here comes the challenge.
Challenge requested by Team Conegliano. Conegliano challenger regolando su one switching.
Well, 4 times Markov has been served more than anyone else in the VakifBank side this year in the Champions League. It shows that they will get after her, and that's what the already balanced is shooting, having to stay strong in the reception, especially on the front court, because all of a sudden, in shooting, all Markov don't pass well for their respective sides. There's more pressure on the opposites. One touch. We had a great view of this. Higher than I thought as well, but still the same. So still the same answer. For me, that's only hitting the net back down. But unless there was a touch just there. D. Michael thinks there was a touch. Early break for VakifBank. Imoco not quite polished in the early stages. Okay. Justice, I think, has been done. And I think VakifBank will be frustrated because they were given the point. But I think when they look back at it, it'll be okay. 26 years old, Pack with the serve through the middle for the very first time. Now this is a battle that's foul forward because Prosecco and Nunes really do have the ability to get on top of a Moco this evening. They run the wider play, and that's what we're going to see between the two lovers. It's crazy with two. It's crazy. Yeah, you take the middle away. Back on the front court receiver, which is Zhu Ting. They serve her straight down the line, and it's very difficult for Zhu Ting to create angles to 2.5 or 3 off that straight line serve. It's good serving. I think that's at the moment to be and come out exactly how we would want it to, exactly how we're supposed to.
Out of their rhythm.
Markova again might look straight down the line here. She looks to drag it in the middle, and overall there's 2 less errors per set for Imoco. That came to the forefront last week. We have a look at the bench and the look at the players ready to come on. When it comes to net stats, VakifBank have a higher percentage.
That might have been in, but I think he's calling that Jansu was backcourt attack. What's going on at the bench today?
Yeah, and you've got 2 men who are not going to give up. Guidetti will fight for everything, as will Santorelli. Maybe the bigger problem here for VakifBank is the fact that there are 2 passes in a row that have gone over. And that will be something where you probably have to try and settle his passing reception, bring it down, to bring that control back. Well, Zhu Ting serving Chinese international. Again, and it's Nunes who's 2 from 2. This is problematic now. Ready for Imoco, they're running the
knows that she's taken out the middle there. The middle cannot get there fast enough.
Yeah, there was no opposite on there. She had to try and work the middle or the outside. It was a fantastic set. They come again. Carraro tries to make the cover. Giovanni Guidetti knows that the VakifBank ISTANBul have the wind in their sails. And that is then the first big statement from Prosecco, who's been very quiet.
And the reaction here from Michel as well. You have to be so quick on a ball that comes off the block to get your arms up and snap.
Moscovic has never won the leading Champions League. She would have to be in conversation with best players to never have won a Champions League. You think there's no Carraro Imoco this weekend in the Final Four, I think for the first time since 2019. And this, for me, is another talking point. How can Imoco CONEGLIANO take that angle away from Moscovic this evening? Stop her being so deadly. There's a net touch, but we'll ignore that.
Well, that's the thing. I think that's another reason that's missing Katie Kelly. She's cutting off that inside arm.
Shabijulu. Doug and Hack has a chance from the right side. She's dug another opportunity. VakifBank ISTANBul have come out aggressively and in her first goal of the Champions League season. That's another big point for Daria Shabijulu. Just the substitution until now. Big moment, big players come out. Gabby on the front court key. Serve for the first time as they keep going after the receiver. You see two teams serve straight down the line. Gabby now serves straight down the line as well. But you know who that suits. That definitely suits VakifBank ISTANBul. Bogu's brought into the game. Again, another slightly scrappy play. Good block through the middle, and that's first blood for Imoco CONEGLIANO with a moment with Bogu on the front. Far so big and just reaches in. Volosh goes after a Bogu who's in the middle. And, oh, foot dig! There's a cover from Icatch, and the tip is agonisingly close. We wait, and it's just out. Yes, he's had to play a lot of scrappy balls already. They're going after Ogbogu, and this is the first time we've seen VakifBank really under pressure. They're choosing to serve the middle, and in the end, it's one-on-one. That's knocked out for the very first time. This is an artist serving
But now they're going short on Ogbogu. They just want to disturb the
and that's exactly what they've done, and they brought her in 3 times in a row. And the other question mark they have to solve, Moscovic comes in heavy in the angle. We can expect to see that a lot this evening. But if Ogbogu doesn't take that ball, it means that Markova has to take that ball, and it takes her out the pipe.
Yeah, that's exactly it. How do you take someone out?
Into the net,
The lead here. From 6 in 4 games. The set score to this whole competition was only to Zara and Ankara. The 3-2 loss in the second round of the quarterfinals. And Markova with a colossal swing to the line. We said this evening a lot would rest on Markova's shoulders. We're seeing it. We've seen her play the high ball and go inside. We've seen her play the high ball and go over the left shoulder. So it's very rangy from Markova on that side. She can hit everything she wants. 2 missed serves in a row for VakifBank. I don't think they'll be too worried at the moment. I feel like, as you said, this game is still settling in. It just needs to calm down a little bit. Service back to Markova. She passes inside and they serve her inside to take away the sharp angle. But Markova shows again that 2 meters tall, the sharp angle's no problem.
Right? That's where all of her power is coming from. And her long-term externally at the same time.
2 meters tall make the sharp angles that much easier. Shooting out of system. De Gennaro comes in and off the body. That's a world-class swing from Bella Hack. That man loves it. When you're out of system on the right side, to the normal human being, you can give them the line. Pass from Markova is on the money. No middle this time, but there is a gap. There's a seam for Boskovic, and that's down to the good early work from Erzbai. But Imoco Conegliano battle back. That has to come to the line from Zhu Ting as the ball's behind her. High to Markova, looking for 3 in a row. No. De Gennaro gets underneath it. Free ball. Someone has to claim it. And again, they come through the middle. And for a third time, Nunes puts the ball away. The offense is flourishing. Your picture has hardly been used as of yet, and that's a sign that everything is going well, I think, for Guidetti. They go to Boskovic a lot when they're out of rhythm, they use the middle, and you can see when Boskovic has been spiking, she gets the one-on-one.
The only thing neither team has really used yet is the backcourt attack. I wouldn't be surprised to see Gabby get a couple here.
Oh, I was expecting it right on cue. Zhu Ting. Really nice approach work off the ball from Zhu Ting. Takes one off the top of the half. I think this is everything we wanted it to be. 54 awards for shooting in her career. Generational talent. But the first pass, VakifBank managed to get 4 points in this game. And on top of
That gap continues to show up.
And this is a proper test for Markova. She's getting a lot of the ball. For the first time, VakifBank go to De Gennaro. Of course she's on the money. She always is. But so far, Markova's winning the battle. Yeah, with a front court setup, running behind with a slide. Oh, the seam. And this is exactly why Tribune is not a bad place for Santarelli to go without killing Keller. Puts the ball away on the slide, throws back and hits the serve. That's the first time that VakifBank have been beaten. And it's a rocket, it's another rocket! We might have a challenge here. Maybe he's just saving the challenge. Again. As a target on her back this evening. The boss goes after De Gennaro. This time it's a little bit off. There is no opposite. They have a chance to survive and come through. First time of the evening. It's a pipe and it's Markova again. Off the body to 5. You've seen the pipe attack. That's Erzbai knows who's cooking. This is a battle of her going to her main weapon when she's
Have yet to unlock the backboard, and Markova's been so good in the front court that it was just about time.
Backcourt for Haku. Chops away. We've seen 2 world-class angles from Bella Huck this evening. One out of system to the line, and this shot back from the screen. Just turns a very sharp angle. The defense will be keying so much into what the upper body is showing. But we are seeing a marvelous display of volleyball. 2 out of 2, Markova. Tink passes overhand with the float serve. They're out of rhythm. Only the second time we've seen a free ball from Conegliano so far. It's a free ball back, and that won't make Giovanni Guidetti too happy, but they live to see another battle. 3 free balls in a row. I didn't think I'd be saying that this evening. Something. Huck has been done. And inside. What a play! VakifBank win the rally of the match so far! Never Joker again, but what a set!
Missed an opportunity, had a free ball, and they couldn't put it away.
This time, Gabby makes it the cone. At the moment, we have Gabby firing, Mark firing. We're at 17 apiece. Yeah, Eileen comes in and somebody hasn't had much game time throughout this Champions League. Stabilise the pass and try and take some pressure off the mark. There's not been any cheap points given away from either side, but that's exactly what we expect. Eileen comes in and perfect first kill for Giacomo Ogbogu. I think we'll go into this game as the game goes.
And Ogbogu going behind, so they're pulling the strings in both directions.
Yeah, and I would love to see Boskovic come in on that inside 10 in the seam that the slide attack creates. My words, Phoenix is playing possessed at the moment. He's got everything that's come our way.
As you should.
Second set underway. Imoco give you nothing for free. And VakifBank Istanbul have realized that yet again in the first set. Gabby's been loaded twice. Markova with the high ball, and this time turns the ball, and the turn gets the ball off of the hands.
And if you're Conegliano, you understand the game plan at this point. You're watching the stats the same way we have. They know that Markova's the hot hand. You're going to have 2-3 blockers on her almost every time.
Yeah, and I think that over time they're going to be happy to give angles away, the sharper angles to Markova, and let her try and hit them as often as possible. Hack is also somebody that can access any angle on the court from any approach line.
Yeah, 100%. And again, volleyball's a game of statistics, right? How much do you take? How much do you give? You cannot cover every area of the court, so you just try and take away their best shot.
Imoco have won 9 league titles. Volosh has won 8 of those. And this is maybe a problem for VakifBank. They haven't started with the same energy in set 2 as we saw in set 1. Boskovic, as you said, the efficiency not quite there.
Not quite there, yeah. I wonder if she needs that ball a little bit more outside, a bit more width on it for her.
Boskovic again. And now she's blocked the ball a little bit low inside.
It does feel as though all season long, Jansu and Boskovic has been trying to figure out this connection. Again, they're working together for the first time this season. Boskovic just transferring over from Azajabashi, and they haven't quite got that touch yet.
Maja Ognjenovic has the ability to find Boskovic from anywhere.
Correct.
With their history playing for Serbia. Ognjenovic going up for Skendici after this game against Jakubasi. Please don't go anywhere for that, as Markova back to business for her.
Centrally one of the best reactions in the game of volleyball.
It's so easy
So
from
expressive.
the side. It's so easy from the side.
I love it.
Ogbogu goes to Zhu Ting. She is been served more so than anyone, but that's been the story of Imoco's Champions League season. She's a target. Free ball, straight down. Gunesh.
That's aggressive. That's what you want to see if you're in the middle. We saw a few of them from Chevicolu earlier on, getting those balls that are not really even set to you, but you just have that court awareness to go up and grab it early.
Good little service run from Ogbogu, who played in the USA last year, back playing for VakifBank, which is really home for her. Is that the first time that we've seen Imoco through the pipe in this game through Zhu Ting? It's the first time I can remember.
I think so, and what I like about it is, again, they've got far in the front, so they've established that quick ball that then Gunesh is jumping with, opens up a wide area for Zhu Ting.
Yeah, well, Zunesh committed to the pipe beautifully. The thing is, her body weight's moving right, and Zhu Ting snaps it left. Very difficult for Gunesh to get a read on that one, but the pass, again, this could be the Achilles heel for them, Key. That's 4 or 5 overpasses this evening. Sat in the angle is Boskovic. Markova sharp again. Di Gennaro, one of the best to ever do it, if not the best. But that is an absolute missile.
I mean, credit to the defense as well, but I think they're hanging her inside on purpose on that ball, because the block is already, and look at Hack, she's looking at Far saying, keep that inside. She's beating us every time.
When the ball's set off the net, miss it inside and let the 2 meter outside get her feet to the ball. Back set's good. Markova, to full credit, is playing defense. Now Imoco keep on the angle block on Boskovic, give her the line, and she shows, having made the error, she's got it.
And this is a much better job by Boskovic of getting her feet to the ball. She's maybe expecting it to be more inside and a little low, and that time she gets her feet under it.
Serve straight down the line to Zhu Ting. That's exactly what we saw in the previous set. There's a net touch. The score's still very tight here. Another scrappy start to a set, just like we saw in the opener. Markova under pressure, and this was what we were worried about with the pass of VakifBank, whether it can hang for 3 to 4 to 5 sets. We saw the overpass, and this one's fast. Three in the pass, backcourt setter coming through, flipping it back to Boskovic. That angle's open. We've seen her access the line, and then you compare your swings with that sharp angle. It's beautiful.
And that's a much better pass as well. I think Markova kind of just stepping in, making sure she took control of that one. And again, I love that Jansu just keeps going back to Boskovic. That was not there, that connection earlier on, but she cannot afford for it not to be.
Markova straight back down the line to Zhu Ting. You know where they're trying to apply pressure, and then they have an answer to it. Serve down the line, put the cross-court block on Hack, see if that ball drops inside, but she's just so good.
Look at the movement as well. Look how far she gets outside the court. Basically where it says Final Four, that's where she's starting her approach. So much angle to work with.
And although the VakifBank are trying to take the angle, there's still more available. They go through the pipe. Markova's made 3 from 3 on the pipe.
And she seems to be playing with the block as well. She's not afraid of swinging at it. Have a look at this approach. She goes straight where she is aiming, that's where she hits. She's kind of testing the block, saying, block me, I dare you to block me.
I mean, with a spike reach of Markova's 330, you've got to say, she's got to be happy just to take it high and swing anywhere, just as Hack's going to do here. But it's a little bit tight on the 10 attack. Ogbogu gets into the block. She gets her mitts on one.
That's what we call Chiaka O-block you. Thanks to her teammate Molly McCage and the USA national team.
Did you see the finishing position with the left hand? Wrist down, unbelievable. Boskovic into the angle. This is the heavyweight battle again that we expected. Hack is on an absolute flyer now. In system, she can chop back cross body. Moving diagonally, she can hammer both ways. Very tough.
That's why she's always in the conversation for one of the best in the world. I mean, these two opposites have been and continue to be because of all of the range they have, all of the tools in their toolkit.
Well, when VakifBank beat Imoco 3-1 in Ljubljana in 2022, Gabby scored 23.
It seems with VakifBank right now, we're seeing some incredible plays followed by just complete mismatches. I mean, that's so uncharacteristic of VakifBank.
That's twice that they've lost the rhythm to the middle. When she has used the middle, Jansu, and it has been well connected, it's had a lot of success. The issue now is is that an error? No, it's just in. They get themselves out of trouble by Cebecioglu. You can't miss the connection with the middle and then shank the next pass, want of a better term, but they get themselves out of it. Almost feels like a free ball for De Gennaro, and the rhythm's not there. It's another net touch though. It's just not a clean performance. The good things from VakifBank are very, very good, but there's a lot of tough plays in between.
There's some huge highs, but massive lows right now on VakifBank's side, and it just seems like on Conegliano's side, it's just steady Eddie.
And that's what we expect from them. Minimal errors, nothing too rash. And VakifBank, they've got to maintain their high level. That's unbelievable. She's had a quiet game so far, has Sarah Farr, but that is maybe the most difficult swing.
Oh, I want to just dig my teeth into that. That is one of the best swings and the best feelings as a middle blocker, to get up there so quick that you basically take the ball out of your setter's hands.
And it's hard when you come from behind to snap back 5 key, isn't it? More difficult swing for the middle?
100%, 100%. There's Volosh, we were waiting for you. One of the most offensive setters in the game. It'd take her a set and a half to get into it. But that's the time to do it, right? When no one's expecting it.
against a strong middle blocking team as well, like Ogbogu. It's just going to keep Ogbogu watching her a little bit more, hold the middle blocker a little bit, and the defense are going to have to be ready. Again, VakifBank have been there or thereabouts, but there's a timeout now, they're 4 behind.
I wasn't sure if we were going to get a little insight into what's going on in the timeouts, but Guidetti still seems quite calm. Just talking about confidence, more of a motivational speech than anything.
He's a man who wears his heart on his sleeve, Giovanni Guidetti, and it's a good timeout. I have to be honest, I don't know how VakifBank are going to make 4 or 5 breaks. I believe they can find their side-out rhythm, but it's going to be very tough in half a set to make 5 breaks on this Imoco side. Oh, here's a chance for one. Markova loves this high ball. There is one, Key. One.
That is so good. Defense, defense, defense, baby. That is such a great dig. And again, watch the ball as it comes out of Jansu's hands. 0 spin on it. She puts it exactly where Markova needs it.
That is what makes her so deadly. In rhythm, out of system. Gabby didn't score last time. She's been dug 2 times in a row. Markova, that's tight. And those are the scrappy things that might just get them in trouble. They live to fight another one here. Big this time from Hack. To the outside, Gabby dug 3 times in a row. Gabby Gamares. And eventually, Di Gennaro, what a rally! This one is. Both teams are giving it everything! Hack caught on the inside! Ogbogu, Markova, 2 breaks in a row! And the crowd are living on every point won by Vakif.
This is the Champions League. This is why we love it so much. The defense is what's keeping both these 2 teams alive, but they are going aggressive every single time.
Again, blocking cross-court in that out-of-system play on Hack. Ogbogu's finish is perfect. And look at that for a celebration, Keith. Well, I didn't know where 4 or 5 breaks were coming. We got 2 in a row. And maybe the first time we've seen Imoco under real pressure.
Well, I couldn't catch what was going on in that timeout, but you're 100% right. VakifBank needed those break points, and it all comes down to defense right now. I mean, it's been some huge ones, both in the backcourt and in the front court, blocking and digging, but honestly, I still don't see a change in the faces of Conegliano. They still just look so steady, like it doesn't even matter. This is what we're here for.
And there's no errors. They're making VakifBank really earn everything. Hammers into the angle, they're having to really stay stable defensively and earn their counter-attack. But Gabby hasn't made a point in 4 swings. Gabby again. There's not a 5th swing that she doesn't score, Gabby Gamares.
I'm having a look at the blockers there. Chiaka turning around to her team. And that's the face of confidence right there of Volosh. She knows it. And you mentioned it, Gabby trying to go off 3 blockers that time. And I think the blockers did all that they could do. That's their job. They've slowed it down.
Still lead by 2. Volosh keeps feeding the outside with Gabby. And we all know what a threat she is. Turn back from Ogbogu to 5. Gabby goes back to the angle. The chase is on. And it's still alive, but it's going to be too much to ask of Boskovic.
I'm not sure if Chevicolu ran into the side LED screens, holding her wrist as she came back.
Just feel that Gabby went high off the hands, and the next one she really opened up the arm back into the angle. 3-point lead once again. Now it's VakifBank. It's their job to side out. Markova drags one.
And they're the errors we keep talking about, right? Some incredible play, and then they're just swinging out of bounds. I mean, this is a tough ball to go on, but she sees that the line is open, and it's not out by much, to be completely fair with her. But she sees that line's open and turns it, and the trick to that is to turn either your shoulders or your wrist. If you turn both of them, you're almost guaranteed to go out.
Just drags it over rotation, but at the same time, she's really successful hitting those out of rhythm balls to the inside, to the angle. This time it's a tip. De Gennaro's all over it though. So another big rally needs to go VakifBank's way. High off the hands. Again, Boskovic for me, we're almost 1 3/4 sets in. She's been quiet. Shooting at 6, Gabby at 5. We've seen Ogbogu go after the long angled serve, but they stay on shooting in this rotation. Take her out the pipe. It's a free ball, and it should be dealt with accordingly, but it's very tight. Far's on time though. And the lesson here is that the pass was tight, but she didn't sacrifice her speed.
And the other thing about Far is that she's available every time. I mean, she saw how tight that ball was for Vola. She gets up and she's early. And the last swing was at Ogbogu. Short, she goes the next one really deep.
Markov at the target. And Gunesh once more finds a connection with Jansu, somebody that she's played with for so long.
What I like about these two is they're pulling the strings on it, right? Early on in this set, we saw her running really wide, far from Jansu, and now she's keeping it really close and tight. Still in front of the setter, almost always in front, but she's making the blockers on the other side, Far in particular, guess as to how shallow she's gonna go.
Also interesting to see how those plays link with the pipe attack, or who she's trying to open up on the front court, because Markov is on the front court now, and it might just be trying to open her up into the angle. That's turned. That could be 2 from Far, and that's one of the best swings we've seen in the middle so far. The 2 balls to 5.
This is a huge pickup for VakifBank. I thought that ball might drop, especially because Gunesh had not blocked and she had not gone in to take the tip, but she runs back in. But Far's been cutting some crazy angles. I mean, there's just no blocking that unless you commit block with her.
Same substitution as we saw in the opener. Merrick Adijwa coming in. 6th substitute appearance in this year's Champions League. Markova, that one's a bit tight to shooting. It's been seen from Dangabits really nicely. Another free ball. There's been too many of those, I feel, this evening from VakifBank, but that might just lead to the error, or was there a touch? Imoco don't make many errors, and when they do make one, they want to challenge it.
Interesting. VakifBank look 100%, or they're trying to convince us, I should say, that they haven't touched it. But Conegliano are fully convinced. I don't know, in real time, I didn't think there was.
Did you admit to your touches?
I mean, now that the challenge system is in play.
It's a tough
But the other thing is you can still try and bait the coach of the other team into calling a challenge, which might be what VakifBank are doing. Zoom, enhance, enhance.
I mean, it needs to slow down a little bit, but...
Little finger wag.
Little finger wag. And now this feels quite one-sided. VakifBank with a couple of big plays in a row, but then some silly errors coming in as well. And what a substitution this is. Adigua off of the bench, and she's finding sidelines with the serve. And now Guidetti needs another timeout. It's the second one of this second set. Well, for VakifBank, it's been a great season for Guidetti, a great season for Markova in the Turkish league, but they need to try and turn this game around, as it's looking like they're going to go two back. Dangubic is in, and this time Boskovic is back in the game.
VakifBank have to have her start firing, right? We talked about this early on. They have to have that balance. They have to have both pins working as well as the middle, because things are just looking so smooth on Conegliano's side. You cannot be a one-sided team against them.
Far comes back on. Dijwa doing a wonderful job off the bench to try and cement this second set. That's world class. Zhu Ting is one of the best in the business at getting the wrist away.
And especially when Volleyball moves forward, because they already run a fast game and it's shortened game now, that the time that it takes to get your arm over and slow her down, it has to be done so quickly.
Service incoming. And there's still no sign of Helena Kazut this evening, which is interesting because she's played so often. It's a very good held together pass. Dangubic stays high enough, under a lot of pressure there, having to play inside and work off the hands. But then, Imoco not giving VakifBank anything.
No, they're really not, and they just don't look as if they've missed a beat. This, again, was what I was talking about. That could be the missing piece without Kirikella. But if Lubian steps in and fills that role and she's swinging against a one-on-one, they're not expecting that ball to go her.
Great width on the set as well to try and eliminate the block. The first pass is a little bit out. Boskovic stays high. They need to try and make some breaks here, but again, on the right side, they're just a force to be reckoned with, and it's Hack.
Defense first and foremost. The block slowing down the ball. Volleyball has ball in hand without having to take a single step.
It really is perfection again from Imoco. They run the pipe, it's high, and for the first time, Markova misses the pipe attack, and just the connection again is a little bit off.
Yeah, she's a little bit behind. She couldn't go fully into that ball and go forward with it, but these are some signs of just little things starting to fall apart.
Shooting, Imoco are flying on all cylinders here, looking for another final, but Tijana Boskovic needs to come to the forefront here, and that's a good start.
I do like what Conegliano did there with the short serve. That was working really well early on in the match against VakifBank. They're going back to it now, but it seems like everything they try, it makes things easier for them. They're really finding spots.
They really are. A fifth appearance for Serena Skogna-Milo this season in the Champions League. Has to pass this one to go 2-0 up Imoco. Chance in transition. These chances haven't been put away as often as Guidetti would have liked in this second set. Imoco have been too consistent, but there is one off the hands. The slow ball situation, good decision making.
And Dangubic knows she has a couple of blockers there, right? That's an out-of-system play. She knows the block's going to be strong. Really, her options were a tip behind the block or tip underneath it.
Boskovic goes after Di Gennaro. But it's Imoco that find a side out on the outside. And now they lead 2-0 against the VakifBank Istanbul. Gabby, who might have been dug once or twice, came back with a vengeance.
As she often does. You don't count Gabby out. But what I love about that is that she's so calm and swings against the hands of the block. She missed the fingertips once, never again after that.
2-0, Imoco CONEGLIANO on the pursuit for a three-peat here in the Women's Champions League. We said this was going to be close, but Imoco They have been almost faultless throughout, and they are flying away from a very good VakifBank side.
And we mentioned the errors in the first set, 5 in the serve from VakifBank. In that second set, it wasn't necessarily the service errors, but the errors in the attack. They had 6 overall now that they've given up in the attack, and 4 of them coming from Markova, but she's being asked to do so much. Here's a look at the passing accuracy of Conegliano, 0% in that outer zone. So basically 100% of those balls are only making Volosh move a couple of steps, and that's exactly what VakifBank do not want.
Some highlights of a second set that was one-sided. Boskovic has come into this game a little more, looking for her first Champions League title. She's won almost everything else. About one of her best points of set 2. And Key, if you're Guidetti and if you're VakifBank, what's your way back into this third set?
Well, honestly, I think what VakifBank did well in the first set was that they put pressure on Conegliano, especially from their serve. Again, they had a bit of trouble with those 5 service errors, but I think they did a good job of making Volosh move just that little bit more than in the second set. I mean, you saw from those numbers, she barely had to move, and you just cannot play against a Conegliano that doesn't have to move.
Well, Daniele Santarelli was talking to us before the game, saying that his team are more mature. I asked him if they could repeat the perfect performance of last year's Champions League campaign, where they beat Scandici with hardly any errors on the board. And this year, they look even stronger.
The thing about Conegliano as well, and this is something we talk about all season long, is the balance that they have on their team. Hawk right now with 8 points. You've got Yuting with 7, Gabby as well with 7. They just don't really have an area on the court where you can say they're not performing from there, because they're putting balls away from everywhere. There's a little comparison between the middles, and Gunesh hitting really, really well, but again, still not able to find that balance. Markova, for example, she's got 13 points. Nobody else on VakifBank's side has over 10.
She certainly showed us she can hit just about every angle on the court, but she certainly cannot do it alone. VakifBank's very, very high level has been so effective.
One of the things that's gone down since the first set for VakifBank, and understandably so, is their perfect passing. They're only passing perfect at about 17%. A few of those balls going over pass that we noticed that Jansu was having to deal with. They then probably made the decision, hey, let's take the ball a little bit off the net, let's play that higher ball. But they just haven't hit the passing percentages that Conegliano are doing a little bit better on their side.
Absolutely. And even for players like Boskovic and for Markova, if that ball is off the net, it still is tougher to try and get past the block. You do run out of angles, becomes a lot tougher. Well, Zara Gunesh, 5 attacks, 100%, far at 50, but some of the work we've seen, especially hitting back to 5 when having to work around the middle, was special. All the middles on show have had a good evening. And keep, just looking at the comparison in the middle, Gunesh has scored a lot more but you cannot underestimate the impact that Fars had on this game either.
Yeah, I think the middle zone is one where Conegliano are so strong. And again, the question of Kirikella stepping in or not being able to step in, Far has had to take a little bit more of a load. But I like the way that she plays, again, offensively available every single time that Volosh has needed her, with that quick ball especially, just being high and her arm high.
And Lubian is 2 from 4. As well as set 3 about to get underway. Imoco are cruising here, 2-0 up. Dangovic stays in on the outside, Far as well. The winner of this game will go through to the CV Zeren Group Champions League volley final tomorrow against either Ex-Jakabashi or Skandici, which is next up. Volosh will get us underway. The serve on to Markova, which is a pattern that we thought we would see, and that sharp angle play from Markova is just world class. From any ball, Gabby respects class and knows that's too good from Markova. Opens up the arm and sends it on the inside of the block. Zhu Ting, they just keep pestering her in this rotation. She passes and she hits the pipe as well. So balancing the service pressure to try and take one option out or to push the out of system ball's key, but there are patterns in tactics developing throughout this game. Gabby, who went quiet, well, not really quiet, just got dug a couple of times, but now the block working into the angle of Boskovic, and that's something we highlighted earlier on. Gunesh goes early, Far doesn't buy the bait, and she gets out beautifully to get that wrist away on Boskovic. Gabby again trying to fasten play up as quickly as possible. Markova looks for the sharp angle, and once again, VakifBank are bringing some high-level plays to the table, but also a few too many execution errors as well. Gabby doing a good job of just trying to speed everything up. Boskovic either looks for hands or it drops down to the baseline. Boskovic, who's 8 from 18 at the beginning of this set, 44%. They're going to need a lot more from Boskovic. Only one error though, so a lot of continuation plays. Zhu Ting out with the short serve, and these are the plays that VakifBank really need to make sure that they're on. Zhu Ting's face tells us everything. She's pulled out of the offense, she gets the ball back, and she's underneath it, has to go with the tip. And in turn, still wins with the tip, which is going to frustrate Guidetti. Those are the defensive plays that they really have to make the most of. Markova, 2 errors in a row. And a place in the final. Slowly. Slipping away from VakifBank to the right side. Boskovic again brought into this offense. Ball's a little bit off the net, so Boskovic becomes a high percentage option, and she stays high and deep into the angle. Shooting out of system. Di Gennaro tries to speed it up and go wide. That's maybe one of the first setting execution errors we've seen from her. to the middle this time. Now look for the touch, and it might just be another error. That's 3 very quick errors in a row from VakifBank. And although they're not playing perfectly themselves, so that's set too tight, the middle just a little bit out of rhythm as well. Boskovic again being served. She goes with a tip over the top. 2-time world champion underneath Terzic in 2018 in Japan, and 2022 under Santarelli in his short stint as Serbian head coach before him and Guidetti changed positions. But this is what the right side's been brought in for, is to be given a high volume of balls and look to find solutions. It's the other Serbian, Dangubic, who was part of that 2022 side that won the World Championships, that's chiseled off this time. Shooting, short ball. And they've really enjoyed going after Ogbogu in the middle, but this time she does a little bit of DIY. The short serve has been excellent from Imoco. But that's the perfect answer. Volosh has a little look, runs the pipe with it off the net. Eye catches with the perfect D. They try and speed it up. Cansu now spreads it back to Boskovic. And that's another one for Tijana Boskovic. High diagonal, the tip. And then the hammer through the seam. Short on Zhu Ting, who's trying to sit in between the block. Better from Boskovic, better than what we've seen from VakifBank. Another free ball. Do they go back to Boskovic? No. Markova. Cansu Özbay doing a wonderful job of pulling the strings. Goes to Boskovic, overloads her. Then, of course, the pipe is open for business this time. And just as we started to think that this game was going to be over quite quickly, VakifBank have found their stride against Imoco. Pass this time out of system. Dangubic does a wonderful job, When the ball is higher, the blockers have more time to get across, get 2 or 3 in. VakifBank, queens of this slow ball offense. Cansu puts it into a very good spot. The Serbian can go off the hands of Volosh. And then she makes an ace. VakifBank start to serve the short ball. Guidetti going after Gabi in the pass. And the Turkish side have a 1-point lead from almost nowhere. Gabi, world class. Once again, circular arm swing allows her to open up the court with both sidelines. It's a world-class play. It might have just been out. But Boskovic enticed into it. Short this time. There's a lot of short serving. And that tests the approach of Markova, who has to get off of the net very quickly. And it's good work from Markova. And in the end, VakifBank fight through the side-out phase. 2 up. Bogu reaching again. Some of her middle blocking and closing has been world class. They have a spring in their step now. Bogu, who again looks to serve to 5 or 6 every time that she's back. Imoco are clean. Di Gennaro with a perfect pass. The ball goes to 1. She gets it back to 3. And Gabi, we saw her last time turn it over the left shoulder. She goes away from the body this time. Boskovic. Markova, strong rotation with Markova on the left side. The dig from Gabi is strong. Volosh, it's a free ball. Played over quickly, Di Gennaro. What a touch that is on the turn. Hooks it back into play. Chesting from Di Gennaro. My word, two massive plays from the long term. Italian libero, and Markovic gets the crowd on their feet again by going away from the body. Guidetti's animated, the fans are on their feet. Di Gennaro battled so hard, Jansu's alive. VakifBank really do have the wind in their sails now. They're only up by one, but the emotion's high, and this is the sort of battle that they want. Six is sat very high there. Dangovic. Far gets back into the action. The pass from Di Gennaro is on the money again. Great light footwork. Holds the platform. Creates the perfect angle to the target. The short ball in this whole game has been trouble for both sides, and in a game of just wonderful service pressure all the way through the men's and the women's game, the short serve still holds lots of value. Volosh. And once again, Hack finds the line from a set that's given to her from off the net, out of system. And she can still turn it back to the line, which is a high level swing. Again, the short ball. It's working just to upset the rhythm. Boskovic is up to 41% efficiency now for this game after a quiet couple of sets. At the right time, Boskovic is coming to the front of this game. Zhu Ting slightly off. Hack goes fast, out of rhythm. It's a great set from Volosh to keep the speed quick, to keep the blockers under pressure. And Hack hasn't really made a mistake all evening long. The faster the play, the tougher it is for the middle to get outside and double stack. It's Hack serve that's put the cat amongst the pigeons a little bit, and Zhu Ting stays very high. And this is exactly the Imoco CONEGLIANO style. They keep their level incredibly high. And as good as VakifBank have been for periods of this game, they haven't been able to sustain the level needed. Two behind in a set they must win. Instead, it's just world class from Bella Hack. Wow. Chops one again over that left shoulder. Everything on this high ball looks like it's going towards the line or six. The block has to respect that. And at the height that Hack can hit at, she turns it back towards the sideline. VakifBank, who were firing on all cylinders moments ago, fired up. The best part of 10 seasons at VakifBank's rivals. As Zajabashi now wearing the yellow of VakifBank. Shooting formally of the team in yellow and black, haunting her former side alongside Gabby as well. And it's so good from Zhu Ting. The connection with Volos, who's had a wonderful game this evening. The level from Imoco has been so high. 3 up in the block. Defended spectacularly. And it looks as if Imoco are going back to the finals in the same hall that they took the gold home last year. Santarelli still not perfectly happy. Serve straight down the line. Zhu Ting will serve with Imoco. 8 away, short serve to the inside. It opens up Boskovic, but the middle's aware of it. Lubian can't quite get across, and Boskovic has the advantage on Gabby that time. Lubian in for Kiri Keller with that ACL injury, has had a great game. Boskovic just too high there. Di Gennaro taking that right seam, stepping across, it's a little bit off the net. Patient defense on the backcourt from Markova. Boskovic comes again, and this is the sort of Boskovic that can win championships for VakifBank. She's come through this season, started all 8 games, 29 years of age. The last time she was in a Champions League final, she was 26 years old in that loss to VakifBank. Now she's playing for them, making the dig through the pipe. Markova, is there a touch of the Imoco defender? Hacks playing position 1, and it's another hitting error. And this has been the biggest problem for VakifBank in every single set. They've been aggressive, yes, but too many errors against a team that don't give you many in return. Right on cue though, there is one from Lubian. Markova, who Key Michael said was almost sort of doing it alone, needs to get back into point scoring mode. Di Gennaro to the middle this time. Hacks very close to the line, which a few VakifBank guys have seen. The ball's gone out wide of the antenna and into the net post as well. Volos again, just in all those awkward situations, has the hands and the skills to still put the ball into a perfect zone. Volos short on Markova. Line from Boskovic. And at the moment, it really doesn't matter if this play is telegraphed, because Boskovic is running hot. She's going to get more and more ball towards the end here. Markova with a very good pass off of that short ball. They're still alive here, VakifBank. Ogbogu. But Gabby this time. High to the perimeter of the court. Great feet to the ball, opens up the arm once again. We've seen her hit these angles all day long. And she's got the one back over the shoulder if she wants it. Markova needs to put this one down. And instead, it's just another hitting error on that left side. 52% for Markova. That's at least 5 hitting errors though in this game on that left side. And if you compare that to Imoco, they've had 3 hitting errors between them, which is just fascinating. They want the touch off of the left hand here. As Key Michael joins us back in the commentary box. Welcome back, Key.
Oh, thanks, everyone. Don't worry, I didn't die.
No, you're certainly still here in that live and just clocks back into this game. And that has been given as a touch, I think. Saying Markova's made 5 hitting errors. VakifBank as a collective have only made 3 as a team this evening. That probably sums it up. Small margins.
Yeah, fill me in. What's been going on, Lewie?
You haven't seen any.
I haven't seen a single thing. Yeah.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
What do you think has happened, kids? VakifBank have shown signs of high level, then they've had errors to go with it. Imoco have really given them nothing in any way, shape or form, so much of the same.
Whoa. I mean, that's Conegliano in a nutshell, right? I mean, you don't have to have seen the last set to know that that's exactly how Conegliano plays. Is they squeeze the life out of their opponents because they just do not let up.
Another overpass. And that has maybe been Aicha and VakifBank's big issue this evening. The one thing that stays impressive is Imoco's ability to stay consistent in every situation. They never take their foot off the gas. They never stop in terms of their intentions, covering, defense, setting up on the pass and delivering quality. They push every single ball.
And you'll have to let me know, but I feel as though Conegliano are such a good passing team that Volos has just had ball in hand. At least in the first 2 sets, she ran whatever she wanted.
Yeah, and even at times where she is a bit pushed, she's agile enough and she's got great hands to be able to put the ball in the right spot anyway. And if they are out of system, Gabby can set perfectly. Di Gennaro can set perfectly. It doesn't really matter.
And one of the things Santa really talked to us about before this match was that Volos took the summer off, right? She does not play with national team last summer, and there were a few kinks to work out. It seems like they're all gone.
They've all gone. Imoco looking to go 3 in a row. The first pass a little bit off. The step from Volos is great. The cover is excellent, but the block is here. Imoco still need to earn the next 3 points. And Santarelli's been very, very shrewd here. He hasn't really been under pressure to call a timeout, but now he's just slowed it down. If you're Scandici or Ekshakabashi watching this, what are your thoughts on how to approach a potential gold medal match with Imoco tomorrow?
Well, probably the same way that VakifBank was trying to approach it, right? Be aggressive from the service line. I think the main problem is you have to balance that aggression with not making too many errors, and I think that's what's been the downfall for Vakif tonight.
Absolutely, and the short serve from Imoco has worked so well in every rotation they've used it. Boskovic is back in this game now. We've seen her single-handedly almost steer Serbia to World Championship glory. She needs that form here now, though.
I mean, this is what she can do so well because she's a lefty. Even though there's 3 blockers up against her, she can just slice that inside of them.
And it's agonizingly close. Markova with another error from the service line, just when VakifBank needed to try and find something. And it just shows maybe how she's still maturing into the player that she could be. She's an exciting player already. Key Michael's seen something. Boskovic dug by De Gennaro. And we've seen so many good plays from Boskovic in this set. Jansu saying, swing away, Boskovic. And she's just delivering blow after blow. And the question mark really is, where has this been throughout the first two sets?
Well, look at the difference in this set, right? That width is there for Boskovic. When you have a left-handed hitter, you have to give them the option to swing line or to go in and get it. You can't let that ball die short on her.
It's now or never. And it might just be now, but Gabby's out-of-system setting is so good. And Imoco have an answer for everything.
Oh, Zhuting just sneak it underneath the block. And again, this is exactly what makes her so impressive. And off that one-leg slide in front, no less.
Imoco give you nothing. And that last replay sums it up. They have now 2 match points to go through to the gold medal match. And unfortunately for Zhuting, the short serve that's worked delightfully well into the net. Always pushing from the sideline.
And he said maybe there'll be a double change, so I have a feeling if they do get this point, or if they don't get this point and then they go back to serve afterwards, you might see them use that double sub to add a bit more height in the front.
See the Chalistan coming in. 8th substitution appearance in this CV Champions League. They need a block here. Second match point for Imoco. It's tight. And it's VakifBank that take this to overtime. Boskovic served this time. Tight from Imoco in the pass. It's game on.
I mean, is that the first time we've seen Conegliano falter in their reception all match long? It's the first time I've seen it anyway.
We haven't seen Monica De Gennaro. Oh, and there's the chance. An overpass, a free gift that's not put away. Elena Kazut has just come on, and that's a massive opportunity for the French international. And Imoco now have match point when VakifBank should have had set point.
I mean, that's a huge missed opportunity. I'm just picking my jaw up off the floor because that is something that Kazo is typically so good at. She's a ball control player, right? She's a smaller player. Those are her bread and butter plays. But again, like you mentioned, she hasn't really played all match long.
And in a game where Imoco don't give you anything, you get one chance like that. They won't give you that again. And maybe that one chance has just been squandered. Oh my word. They fought so hard. VakifBank. Net touch is what they're after. Could just be a ploy to slow it down. Lewie, who has a powerful, fast float serve, strong right hand in the side this evening instead of Kiri Keller, who's out with an ACL injury, serving the third match point. It's off the top of the net band. Jansu's there. Boskovic, who's been on a heater. puts the ball away, and the crowd celebrate with some relief. Michel on the edge of her seat.
I mean, look at the flag there of Boskovic in the crowd. This could so easily have been an ace serve, and 9 times out of 10 it is that one that dribbles off the tape, so it takes so much guts for Boskovic to swing away on that as well.
Maybe some relief for Kazut there as she leaves. Dangovic back in. Business time. A must-win set for VakifBank Istanbul. They go after Di Gennaro. That's proved to be good, but she gets the ball in perfectly over the right shoulder. Another match point number 4.
And again, look at the faces on Conegliano, and Volash is probably the perfect example. Just stone cold, barely an emotion, because she has so much confidence in her team.
Ogbogu takes position 6. Far gets it to 5. Match point number 4, the short serve. Good chance for Imoco. The pass is off the net. Markova fires up. Zhu Ting with a world-class dig. Battling at the net. Hack to send Imoco to the final. No chance. It goes to Markova. Desperately needs this. Di Gennaro sweeps up. Hack again. Second chance. VakifBank with the block. Hang on again. Wow.
VakifBank are hanging on by a thread. I mean, that is absolute perfection of the inside arm from Ogbogu, and the confidence they had to have to not get their bodies in the net. This kind of high pressure moment, it's so easy to make those errors that Vakif has been making all set long, or all match long, and they don't do it there. That's clutch.
Deria back in again to serve. Imoco is still making VakifBank fight for every single ball, but they are fighting. Back in system, and there's an error, or is there a touch? VakifBank say no. Michel says no. Lewie Lett says no. Challenge requested, and I think this is where it's flipped.
If this goes VakifBank's way, this is the breadcrumb that they needed. They just needed that little bit of edge to get themselves. Look at Jansu speaking to her team right now, saying, if we don't put it away now, it's now or never.
And Gabby with the opportunity for a team. I think that's still just their 4th offensive error of the evening, which is ridiculous stats once again. The seam is slightly open. Is there a touch? There is no touch. It didn't look like there was a touch. Here we go.
The onus is on VakifBank right now because, as you mentioned, Conegliano have given them a couple of breadcrumbs right now. This one, if they don't grab it, they will probably not see another one.
It's been flip reversed. VakifBank now have set point. And can you imagine what this crowd does if they can make another break through the pipe? Zhu Ting. And you just know that Imoco are going to clutch up. You just know it.
They go punch for punch every single time. And again, utilizing the pipe in this particular instance where, again, you've kind of pulled the blockers here. They're playing a game of catch-up with the attackers. To use the backcourt in that moment is so, it's just so Conegliano. There's no other way to explain it.
Volosh 1 step ahead.
Always.
27 all. Passes into a good zone, and to be fair, VakifBank have been led by Tiana Boskovic in this set. She's been fed more of the ball.
Oh, that deep corner is so beautiful. And especially against someone like Gabby, whose defense is so good.
She's had to go to the line a few times to open up the angle again, but when it's open, there's just no stopping her. Short serve, a bit of your own medicine, Imoco, as Zhu Ting's out the offense. This is the chance! This is the chance that VakifBank have been waiting for! We go again! 4 or 5 match points against them! And VakifBank hang on! And they fight back! Wow!
I mean, to have the kind of control of your emotions, to play at this level against Conegliano, giving you 0 goose egg in front of this stadium, I mean, you have to have ice in your veins.
Ice everywhere
I literally have goosebumps.
Yeah, mine are coming as well. For those watching at home, we might be on the edge of a magnificent comeback, but what VakifBank have proved is they can step up and they can beat Imoco. That was some effort from Guidetti and his team. Boskovic is now flourishing. Markova, seems like the pressure's off of her on the left side, and those two working together could be a real thorn in the side of Daniele Santarelli. As we have a look at the stats, 65 spikes to 62, 3 aces to 0. The short serve for both sides is really working.
And I'm looking at those aces as well. VakifBank, they haven't made any aces, but they also haven't made those errors that were really plaguing him in the first couple of sets. So they're forcing Conegliano to play, and again, keeping their nerve when it counted. And I love the point that you made about Boskovic. This team has to have that balance. It wasn't there in the beginning, now it's there.
They have to work hand in hand. Two big out of rhythm hitters, but the middles are stepping up, and as you said, Key, the relationship between Jansu and Boskovic wasn't there. So it wasn't there because of that as well. We're going to have a look at the set 3 passing accuracy. We like those green balls. The blue balls have been very tight though. It says target. There's been a few that have been a bit too tight throughout this game.
Yeah, they haven't been totally on target, but I think what I like about this distribution is that it's not as many overpasses as we saw early on. They were really trying to force that ball to the net, trying to be a little bit too perfect, and that's when they were having trouble, because Jansu, especially when she's backcourt, she can't do anything with that ball. They're relying now on their high outsides.
And in a game, or a time in volleyballing history where service pressure is so key to the game, what we're seeing is that the short serve and the ability to take options out is key.
100%. If you can put that ball in a zone, and when you're a young player, you might think, all right, I just have to serve as tough as I can, as hard as I can, the fastest ball wins. No, it's about placement serves, getting somebody in an uncomfortable situation so they can't run the offense they want.
Well, Markova with a few errors here and there, but boy, oh boy, didn't she step up, as did Boskovic. We go to a 4th set here in the Orca Sports Arena, and I just cannot believe my eyes. Wherever you're watching from, hello from Turkey. It's lovely to have you with us in what is just a game that could just go a way that we never saw it going halfway through that 3rd set.
I mean, this is the kind of match where it seemed like VakifBank had that in the bag, right? They were just on the verge of taking this 3-0. Now that VakifBank have snuck one in, now we have a game on our hands. Now there's the belief. Now there's VakifBank starting to find their rhythm. Now there's the entire crowd going mental. This could be a turning point in how the way this match ends.
Well, the only time that these two teams have played in Istanbul, it was 3-1 to Imoco in that quarterfinal. It could be the same again. Although, as I'm sure Boskovic will really appreciate us all watching her blow her nose on live TV. I'm interested to see a very confident VakifBank here in set 4. The wind in their sails. Guidetti is up for this. And Boskovic has done exactly what she was asked to do when she made the short trip across Istanbul to join VakifBank from Ekjakibasi at the beginning of the season. Key, you're having a look at the stats. Is there anything that stands out to you?
100% Boskovic, you called it. After the 2nd set, she had 7 points. Now she has 19. So she's doubled her efficiency in that set alone.
Yeah, she's gone up to 54%, which is exactly where she needs to be. And with Markova on the other flank, they need to try and work off of each other and make life very difficult for the opposition block. But the pass again will be instrumental on whether there is a real comeback on the horizon. Here we go, set number 4. The first 3 have been a real treat. And Gabby gets back to business. Hang on a moment. We don't want to see Jansu go to the floor. Gabby, as always, incredibly friendly and just asking if everyone's okay.
Yeah, you can always count on Gabby for her teammateship and her sportsmanship, first and foremost.
Just a couple of overpasses from Imoco at big moments in that previous set. They're moments that we don't often see from this side, and it's just opened the door slightly. And the tip over the top from Markova.
And that's something that I didn't see in the first 2 sets. I don't know if it happened in the third, but the tipping, that's really strategic, and especially from a player like Markova, who you've seen her just bang balls, line, cross, deep, short. When she throws that tip in, that's why it's so lethal.
She's also struggled in the cross-block situation with the ball a little bit off the net, where we've seen her drag one wide of the mark. So it might also be an idea for her to keep tipping over the top to try not to drag that line again. Oh, Chu Ting goes with the tip. Smart offense or defense maybe out of position?
I mean, it looked like it might have been a little bit to her left and she wasn't expecting it quite that far, but I still like, again, that push tip, especially with a one-blocker situation.
Gabby, the pass again from VakifBank is strong. Boskovic, eye catch with perfect cover. Markova's trying to pull rabbits from hats again with the angles that she's trying to influence. And it might not be a kill from Markova, but it does bring Gunesh into the game with the block. Ju Ting is stopped.
And VakifBank are up to 6 blocks right now. They've been getting better and better, progressing as the match goes on at their discipline and how tight they are to the net.
Yeah, blocking more inside with those out-of-system balls for sure. Hack, she's been stopped. This is Aicha, and she keeps the ball alive. They're going to have to dig the ball over and then set up as quickly as possible as another wave comes in from Imoco, and that is picture perfect.
Again, classic shooting. Thumb down, wrist away. Beats the block, not necessarily with power, but the speed of her arm. It's an excellent defensive play from VakifBank, but have a look at this finish here. Just a whip of an arm to hit that sideline.
Never looks like she's trying to hit the ball too hard. A lot of control in the shoulder. It's a beautiful swing. Dangabits is the target. Boskovic is mixing it up again with the tips. So both of the wing players going with more tips than we've seen earlier on in this game. It's Boskovic again, and Boskovic is on a heater right now. She's never going to make 100% efficiency this evening, Key, but she is improving.
I mean, that's what you want to see out of your big hitters, right? You may not be able to start the match to perfection. Maybe there's some stress, some nerves, but you want to finish that way.
Over the last few years, we've seen Agonu score 39 points, 40 points, 41 points for different sides in Champions League finals. And you feel that Boskovic has to try and live with that sort of expectation and pressure. And she is! It's the performance that they need from the right side. It was a little slow in the first 2 sets. What a touch.
And I think the best players in the world are exactly like this. That ball is not perfect to her. She's falling a bit backwards, but she makes it work.
VakifBank are in front, and that's another serve from Markova. And the error count from Markova is something that we probably have to keep an eye on. 2 service errors, but also 6 hitting errors as well from Markova. And again, I think that's the same as the whole Imoco team in terms of hitting errors.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Vakif has 10 hitting errors. Conegliano just 4. But Boskovic just right now doesn't have an off switch. It's just like a robot.
When she heats up, she is hard to stop. And they're finding that, make that another hitting error. Ogbogu's into the net this time. Was the ball down first? It's probably my first question to you. Reverse play. We haven't seen Hack
Yeah, that's going to be the exact question, is whether or not the ball hit the ground before she hit the net, because she definitely hit the net.
2. This could be the second hitting error from Hack all evening long. And Imoco, as always, show us nothing flash, but they don't give you anything, although they're starting to let a few swings go, the odd pass here or there. I don't think my question is about Imoco here. I think it's whether VakifBank can keep their level high enough.
I think Conegliano have proven time and time again, if you get them into a long battle, they are typically the one to come out on top. If you're going to beat Conegliano, you have to do it early stages of the match, because they're so good at just keeping their level calm and consistent. And again, what we've talked about with Vakif is they are up and down. Oh no, the ball was in the way.
Oh my word. Bogu knows it's going to go VakifBank's way, I think. Ball down before Bogu into the net is a great decision. And all of a sudden, Gabby starts to try and take a bit more room. Markov is in the perfect spot just on the side of the block. Boskovic goes sharp angle. That's a phenomenal dig from Volos. She gets out the way. Oh. This is turning in to some game now. Boskovic turns one off the hands, and in one rally, she goes sharp angle. Then she brings one back.
Give me a setter that plays defense all day long. Have a look at this cross. Jansu just sits in it and pops it up and lets her team do the rest, and your middle is setting out a system.
Volos and Jansu making outrageous digs. Giovanni Guidetti's almost on the court.
The first signs of a little stress on Santorelli's side. We came in this morning, well, I guess it wasn't this morning, but before the match, and I had the interview with him, and he was talking about the weather and what a beautiful day it was to play volleyball. He's feeling really confident and calm.
What he doesn't know is that it's currently colder here than it is in England for the second year running. I'm not impressed.
It's all up here.
Yeah. Jansu from the right side, tip over the 2. Block, and here you go. The boss is cooking. And this is a problem. Boskovic, throughout the years, for Serbia, for Ekjakabasi, has done just this.
And even though that ball is up, I mean, she's gotten Volos out of the reception, or excuse me, out of the set. So even if that ball had stayed on her side, who's stepping into set, it's going to be out of system no matter what.
Only Agonu and Boskovic, in my eyes, can go into this flow state. And Hack. That's 3. You can disagree with me, too.
I mean, flow state is probably the exact word to use, because I think all volleyball can be about momentum. There's another perfect example. Obogu, right place, right time. It's all about just making that. High, that slide that goes fast, but it's a little bit out of rhythm. She snapped that up on top because she has the extra height.
Very good point. She goes back there, and that's a sign of confidence from Volos. She says, okay, you might have got blocked the last time,
Of course she goes back. I played with Rollash. That is her style. She wants to get her players in. She's not going to leave anybody hanging. If you didn't hit well, if you got blocked, she's going to feed you again. She's going to say, that was my fault. Let me get you higher or faster or wider or whatever it is. And she trusts Lewie to get that ball.
Dalderop comes in here, and she's in to try and affect the game from the service line. But she's had games offensively where she's really struggled in terms of hitting efficiency herself, and the service sub doesn't change anything. Ogbogu is back in. Key, you're over the moon with what you're seeing here.
I geek out a little bit on middle attacking in particular, because are you kidding me with the speed? She's got 2 blockers up against her. She has so much height and snap on that ball.
Turn, Gabby. And Gabby has another error. Now, we saw an error at the back end of the last set. This is so un-Gabby-like. It's so un-Gabby to see 2 or 3 errors in a short space of time.
And what's really un-Gabby-like is to not be very clear with Santarelli whether there was a touch or not. She kind of looked over, shook her head a little bit, and he's called the challenge, and this is the second challenge. So if it doesn't go his way, there's nothing left for the rest of the set.
He's a man that does throw the kitchen sink at everything. And he's sporting a brand new skin fade, which is a very English boy haircut.
Hey, looks good, looks fresh. I love it.
You go into the barbers and you say, all right, boss man, can I have a skin fade?
And Gabby's gone in and said, I'll just take a touch of the fingers, please.
Yeah. Okay. Gabby doesn't make hitting errors. That's okay.
We take it back.
Lewie, Italian international, somebody who really wants to get back into Velasco's plans. Not one that went to the World Championships, and it's interesting to see that only Farr and Monica Di Gennaro were at the World Championships from Imoco, which is just wild. Boskovic is just back on the money. Di Gennaro is under increasing amounts of pressure, and it's another block. Di Gennaro, we saw at the back end of the last season, she's been ever present with every league victory with Imoco.
Now I'm starting to see a bit of frustration on Conegliano's side. That ball low and tight, that's not typically the ball that Gabby would swing, especially into Ogbogu.
But the pass was so accurate to the sideline, it feels like the chains have been, they're off VakifBank. Gabby isn't stopped this time.
And that's more like what you'll see for her. That's a solution to a problem. The first ball was not a perfect set. That's what you can do. Go off speed. Get Chiaka a little bit off the net or get her reaching.
And you feel that where frustration's creeping in, patience is really the antidote there that they need through these periods. And it's very unlike Imoco to not have patience and to believe in their level and stay with it.
I mean, it's hard though, right? Look at this stadium. It is packed to the rafters, full of fans of one side and one side only. You got to be really just within yourselves.
Three teams. Imoco, VakifBank, and Shooting. Has our own set of fans here. One has to wonder now. We're going to see a new challenge for Imoco. Dalderop's off, and again, it's a little bit too tight. It's well worked back. Good accountability. Aicha, off the net. Markova needs to find something, and she does. This is where VakifBank, having 2 big options on the pin, can hit you out of any situation.
And now Jansu has options. Now she can run a game that she wants. Even that ball, that's a little inside, but the blockers of Conegliano have learned their lesson. They are expecting her to go deep cross, and then she cuts it back.
Again, having 2-meter tall outsides allows you to run that ball more inside. A chance for another break. Put it down! Put that down! VakifBank.
I'm giving all credit here to the block. Markova is the one that slows that ball down, and then Vakif are able to run that super fast offense. But you talked about it in the intro. Hawk up against Markova, that's where it really comes into play.
edge of your seat stuff. And that's a good bit of dodgeball.
Yeah.
And you have to say, Jansu's serving, when you came back to the commentary box at the back end of the set, was instrumental alongside Boskovic to get them to this point. Careful. Short ball. Something that has been working tremendous. No real rhythm for Markova. That one's going to be a break. And this is where you think VakifBank are going to have to stay very patient.
And focus. And that's a great little chicken wing from Gunesh to keep it in play. But this is where Conegliano can just chip away, and they will, and they make it so frustrating as they go little by little. VakifBank cannot afford to let them get any kind of foothold.
Merit Adizwa coming in. We saw it as a very good service substitution in set 2, where she came on and made 3 or 4. One crossbody to the sideline. Very well done. Danjubits stays very stable. Free ball. Boskovic has to work hard off the ball to get rhythm. Markova doesn't. Digzwa defensively is very astute. Markova for a second time off the hands. You said focus. That seemed very, very concentrated.
And 2 free balls in a row. We talked about earlier on how you don't get a lot of chances from Conegliano. They got 2 in that rally. Couldn't put the first one away, but the second one you felt they had to.
It just shows how high and fast Markova is to beat Hack with the hands. A fast feet and fast arm beats slow hands. Passes a little bit off the net from Gabby. By her standards, it's just been a little bit more subdued than what we're used to. High ball to the outside, 2 up in the block. And again, there's no respect from the outside. Danjubits this time.
That is insane. Jansu from off the court, off your picture now, on the floor, and still gets that ball in a hittable position for Dangubic.
It's a ridiculous play. But this is what confidence looks like in motion when it's going for you. They've got the momentum at the back end of the previous set, and they're riding it. Heads up.
We called it a little bit earlier on. The tips that were coming from VakifBank looked like they were purposeful. They were strategic. We're seeing some tips now that seem like last-ditch efforts for Conegliano. They are not looking comfortable in playing these balls because they want to score. They're playing them because they don't have other choices.
We're seeing Europe's best. Yes, they lost the World Club Championship final to Scandici, but we are seeing them under real pressure. They lost 1 in their regular season to Milano, 1 during the playoffs in Italy as well. They don't lose matches very often, but they're going to be against it now, as this looks like it's going to 5. And this is a problem. This is 100% what we don't want to see, but we're going to see it again anyway. It was carved across, the leg's gone under the net, and the shoulder has gone away from the body. This is very uncomfortable for Dangubic here. We're going to have to follow it the whole way. And she gets a round of applause. And the reactions you can see, 18 on the shoulder for Christina Kirikella, who's not here due to an ACL, and this does not look much better. She's had a wonderful game off of the bench here. She's really stepped up, and she can be incredibly proud of her efforts.
I mean, you hate to see an injury of any player at any time, particularly a team like VakifBank that right now are kind of riding a high. This could be something that just pulls them right back down to reality.
It could completely turn everything. It could be a complete momentum killer for them. Good sportsmanship between Santarelli and Guidetti, who I can assure you talk about each other at their own dinner tables.
Yeah.
You can imagine it, can't you?
I mean, there's a lot to talk about.
Yeah, there's
Volleyball mostly, I'm sure they have long, extended conversations about strategy.
We're back underway. Kazudizin, who's been that sort of P2 player all season for VakifBank, so it's no stranger for her to be playing outside. Deria obviously started this evening, so we've seen 3 different players occupy that sort of P2 position, but they're going to have to try and finish a job here.
One of the things that changes with Kazo in the front court is a little bit of height, so Conegliano can exploit that right side.
Well, she's in and she's going to be targeted. That's for sure. Gabby on the outside. There's 2 up. Markova somehow split steps across and she covers that ball off the hands. 3 ball. Imoco. Folosh!
You felt it in your bones if you're a volleyball player. She knew it. Everyone in the stadium knows Markova's just dug this ball. Libero is off in Never Never Land. There is nobody in that center spot. That's the perfect time. Even Jansu was expecting it. She knew. She just sat in it.
Yeah, a setter knows. But at the same time, it's difficult to stop. And a lot of things in this game, the other team know exactly what they're trying to do. But can you stop them is the magical question. It has to be your day. And for 2 sets, 2.5, maybe 2 8/10 of a set. It really looked like it wasn't going to be VakifBank's day. But now, fast forward half an hour, 45 minutes, it's Imoco that...
And to think in that 3rd set, there were moments where Conegliano almost could have just ended it right there.
They opened the door. And VakifBank let themselves in. Short ball, Kazut's just in. Ogbogu's going to run through the middle. Di Gennaro just shifts across. She reads the game so well. It's so variable, the middle work. It changes every single time. Boskovic to the line. Again, the defense set up from Imoco. High ball to Boskovic. Crash helmets on. And it's off the hands of Gabby from Boskovic.
You mentioned it earlier on. Boskovic has yet to win a Champions League gold, and it feels as though she took that ownership in that 3rd set and just decided, I'm not giving up the chance here.
Yeah, it's now or never.
As she puts one in the net.
Yeah, that's okay. The curse of the commentator is strong everywhere. But this is the game, I think, that we all wanted, and it didn't look like we were going to get it for that first 2.5 sets until Jansu started to find Boskovic, just like she's gone again, and Boskovic misses out. 19-15. They're back within a distance.
And it's not by much. I mean, I like that swing by Boskovic. She's going for that sideline. Again, showing our range, going every different direction.
Passes back in. Aicha. Defensive coverage from Dowdarop, who's still in for Zhu Ting. Gabby. Fast feet. That loading step's very big, and the last 2 are very quick from Gabby. And look at the eyes of Gabby. She knows that the time is now.
And again, as soon as she has Jansu in front of her, that is why those eyes go wide and you water, because you see, this is my chance. This is where I need to swing.
A mismatch from Gabby on Jansu is one way of scoring. They're 3 behind. VakifBank now are going to be asked a lot more questions from Imoco because they can see a comeback on the horizon. That's a smart swing. Kazut's off. Now, the rotation for me is they need to get Markova back on the front court to close this game out quickly. They've got some strong rotations coming. And Markova is back on the front court. French international, Kazut serving. This is a race against time for VakifBank.
And they can't allow those kind of errors to creep back in, right? That was what they were doing in the first couple of sets, missing those serves. They kind of cut that out, and they need to keep consistent and keep those errors low.
Markova serves short to try and affect her rhythm. There is no problem with the rhythm. De Gennaro on the edge of the block makes the read from quite a straight approach attack, and in transition. This time Gabby goes off hands again. Same play, rinse and repeat. 2018. Boskovic. This time Dowderup, she's made 3 or 4 great defensive plays. A side out's what's needed. It goes wide to the pin. Markova stays high. She's the outlet. In transition. Not at full height, but at 2 meters tall, she can stay high with the snap. A desperate play, and I feel like there's going to be some frantic plays from VakifBank in the next 4 or 5 points. Good feet. Gabby's just finding that she can just chisel off the hands. As you said earlier on, finding the ball is so important here.
And especially just chipping away point for point, because the gap is closed massively down to 2 points. If they can score 2 for every 1 that Vakif has, they're right in there.
Where's the pressure at the moment, Key? My money's on the pressures with VakifBank. Way out of rhythm. Markova had no right to put that one down. And there's more relief in the VakifBank.
Way out of system, way inside. I mean, she's basically in the center of the court there.
2 meters tall. Jansu, this is a very comfortable rotation now because Jansu served very well. Dowderup is a short target, angle block on Hack, and again, potentially, Hack has the ability just to find more angle all the time.
And the key for Conegliano, right, is just continue going back to their basics. I think they were trying to play a little outside of themselves, doing some things that we're not used to seeing. They had the upper hand all through the first couple of sets. They could just go back to playing that way.
Markova, very good early platform, cuts the ball off nicely, and Boskovic again proves her weight in black and gold.
One of the problems for Conegliano is what they were doing in the first set was serving Markova, and it was working. Now, not so much. That's a perfect pass by the outside, and then you get the delivery on the pin.
And Boskovic has been so strong. Had to get past the angle block early, find the line, then the angles have opened up again for a little bit later on. And then Hack's back to business. She started to come forward again in this game.
A one-on-one with Hawk, that's dangerous. You can tell Gunesh has already taken a step. She's thought, I'm going outside. This is where I'm prioritizing my block, leaving Hawk wide open.
They've gone a lot to Gabby on the wing, not so much to Dowderup. This is the biggest point of the game for me so far, and it's one that's gone VakifBank's way. You feel if Imoco score there, it's tight. Now we are looking down the barrel of a 5th set here in Istanbul. Gunesh, they're gonna have to earn it, Key.
That felt like the kind of moment where you just have to force Conegliano to play. You gotta rely on your block. VakifBank have been blocking so well in the latter half of this match.
The substitution, Dowderup needs to try and find a good spot. She finds a great spot. Dowderup silences the crowd here. Markova slaps her hands. And it's game on again. Guidetti goes straight for a timeout. Dowderup off the bench has just maybe played a very big part for Imoco.
No more timeouts
Well,
for Vakif. Pressure's on them.
hopefully they don't need it for Guidetti. He's called it out of necessity. The biggest moment of this match so far. VakifBank Istanbul have battled back to 2-1. 5 match points saved against them. Now they have a set point to send it. Boskovic sends us to 5 in Istanbul.
This is giving me goosebumps again. Every time these two players are going head to head, I mean, it was all Hawks first half of the match. Now it's all Boskovic. We're going to a 5th set, which means 15-point sprint. Whoever comes out the gate first is going to be going to the final.
Markova and Boskovic are stepping up. Some comeback as all the hairs are standing up. Even on the parts of my head, I thought they'd gone forever. As we go to a 5th set here, 25-23. It was comfortable for a long time. Imoco started to chip their way back. Boskovic, you have to say, has been a big game changer in the last 2 sets.
Tijana Boskovic, almost 30 points. And remember, in the first couple of sets, she was so quiet. I think she had 2 points in the first set. She just was not even there. And she has taken her entire team on her back, and you can feel that energy. It's improved. Not only their serve has improved, their block has improved, but everything is looking better, and I think it's all stemming from Boskovic.
Well, they're putting the front court receiver under quite a lot of pressure, and 6 as well. Not so much to position 1, although we can remember at times De Janeiro's been under pressure at position 1. But the front court receiver has been put under pressure. The short serve has also worked.
Yeah, both teams have been experimenting with that short serve, and I think what's impressive here from both teams is not necessarily the lateral placement, but like you mentioned, the depth and the shortness of the serve. That's what's really been causing trouble with their opponent.
If there's a man that knows something about shortness, it's me. 3 aces to 1, 6 blocks to 5. We are having a wonderful time, and it's great to have you on this journey with us. It looked like it was done. I have to be honest. In the 3rd set, 5 match points saved. An overpass sent out of the side of the court from Kazut. But yet they found a way. And then we saw the best VakifBank in set 4. Boskovic in flow state. Markova competing for every single ball.
The other thing is Dankovic going down with that injury, and we said it goes one of 2 ways. Either VakifBank step up and they compete for her, or they lose all of their momentum and their steam, and it kind of went halfway in between. They didn't look quite as dominant as they had in the first half of that set, but they had to pull out that set so they could get themselves in this position, and now it's really just a race to 15. Who's got more gas left?
Big question mark. Dauderop or Zhu Ting is probably going to be the only toss-up for who starts set number 5.
I think I'd go Zhu Ting. I think that was where they were having success earlier on. Just a little bit more consistency in the pass. And it looks like that is what Conegliano have gone with.
54% efficiency, 30 points now for Boskovic, and that's what we said, has to be a Gonu numbers. We've seen it so many times, but if you're going to win a Champions League, this team needs their right side to carry the majority of the load. And she is.
We talked about Hawk as well, and she went so quiet in that last match. Only 4 points in that last set from Hawk.
Race to 15 for a Champions League final spot. No team has won this competition more than VakifBank Istanbul. No team has been more dominant over the past 3 or 4 years than Imoco. 2 heavy hitting sides go into battle one last time this evening. chance. And that is very well done from Volosh.
There's a little bit of hesitation there in the pass between Maki and Zhuting. But I love this confident swing from Volosh. She sees there's no one in front of her. Nobody's going up to block her.
Good defense from Boskovic anyway to stay pretty astute, but just couldn't get her hands on it. No surprise that Marina Markova is the target again at the start of set 5. Can she have the battery to get through this last set to 15? Again, Jansu on the front court is a target.
That always going to be, it doesn't matter if it's Gabby swinging or anybody else, but they'll utilize that over and over. And Gabby in particular loves to go across her shoulder. Her shoulders stay one way, her arm goes the other way, and she can get that outside hand.
Imoco have started this set, exactly as you expect them to. Boskovic is brought in. Interesting for me, Key, is that they're happy with Boskovic being on the back to start this set off. And it hasn't quite started the way that VakifBank or Guidetti would have wanted. Is there a touch? There's nobody's protesting that there wasn't a touch. To the outside again, and Gabby's back on point.
Nobody protesting the touch. I think that's a good point there, is that they kept their focus. Conegliano, even if they had or hadn't touched that, you can still call the challenge at the end of the rally. So you're better off just keeping your focus, trying to win the point, and then going for a challenge if need be.
This, for me, is the toughest rotation with Boskovic at position 5. And they would have wanted to side out quickly, get Boskovic back on the front court. They want Jansu serving, I think, as early as possible and having 3 hitters. But Volosh's first phase of play, very good from the captain of Imoco. Now Boskovic is on the front and Markova. This is the rotation that they can do real damage. Good eyes on the prize from Gunesh. She sees everything. Defensively, it's strong. Kazut's there. Markova goes high! And all of a sudden, VakifBank have been, bolstered back from a defense.
You talked about Kazot and that change that they had to make. This is where she shines. She is defensively one of the most impressive outsides on court today.
Key, this short serve again from both sides. This time Far's a target. And it's quite tough when they go DIY and the middle passes and then runs in.
And you got to just time it right. She knows that she has to take that short ball. She's taken the pressure off the receivers behind her. She knows how high she's passed it. It's almost easier when you pass yourself.
Absolutely. Boskovic goes with the tip and nobody's home. That must be difficult defensively. You're used to seeing her go heavy artillery, and then the tip comes out.
And that's what we talked about earlier, right? Boskovic, Markova, they've been using the tip strategically, offensively, to take some, to change it up in their offense, whereas Conegliano seemed to be using it when they didn't have anything else to do.
Boskovic has only played 1 final in her career in the Champions League. De Gennaro struggling for that reception. Boskovic is not struggling. That is an outstanding play from Volosh. Just steps in and makes the dig. But on the outside, Kazut comes again.
That's huge. Going on the outside of Hawk as well, because you can see the penetration from Hawk. Her chin is down, her shoulders are pressed. If you hit that even slightly to the other side going into the block, that's going straight down.
You have to change the angle on it. Great turn. Slow start from VakifBank, but they're not going anywhere. Markova's missed a couple of serves this evening. A little run here would do them the world of good. Short again. Shooting's out the offense. Everyone knows it has to go to Hack. VakifBank, no, it has to go to Hack. They're struggling though, Imoco, to stop Boskovic. High ball, Boskovic. Volosh has made some outstanding contributions defensively. They're building through the rally. They're allowed to come again through Markova. And for the first time in set 5, VakifBank take the lead.
Maki De Gennaro just ran out of legs at this point. She has been squatting for almost a minute straight in that rally.
This is a match that no one will forget in a hurry. 5 match points for Imoco. That's the serve that we see. At least 4, off the top of my head here. But they had their opportunities. And now VakifBank are right there with them in the 5th set. Sarah Farr being booed. Markova just shovels that ball in. It's high, it's wide, it's off the hands this time. And Kazut does it again. It's a faster offense than what we see for Markova. And that allows her to be a bit stressed, but it also means the block is stressed as well.
And the other thing is that VakifBank have been going back to back to back to Boskovic. So the blockers are hesitating that way just that little bit. It gives a split second more of timing to Kazut. The faster she goes, the more likely she will score.
Remember, this was not the best start to the 5th set for VakifBank either. Now they have a chance to go up by 2. Boskovic just isn't missing. We haven't seen the tip to hack, but it takes her out the offense and it allows them to come again. Good work from Zhu Ting. First time and second time from Zhu Ting.
Excellent work by Conegliano. They were in a tough spot there. As soon as Hawk is out of the offense, you can see the blockers just camping out on Zhu Ting. So I love that repeat set from Volash as well. Once the middle's gotten back to the center, Chiaka, she just spreads it out again.
Yeah, it goes against the flow and the blocker's going one way and having to shovel back. And that's why these setters are the best in the world. That is against the flow this time for Boskovic! Almost a headshot. And again, they start to close the angle on Boskovic. And you said it earlier, the fast feet.
She's playing cat and mouse with them right now. She's gone sharp into the cross. They take a little shuffle. She goes down the line. They shuffle back. And then it's just repeat, rinse and repeat.
But that ball's inside. And for so many hitters, they would struggle to turn that back due to the placement of the set. But Boskovic just gets there. Are you entertained, King?
Oh, I'm entertained.
Shooting. That Olympic gold in Rio seems like a long time ago. Gabby out the offense now, playing tip cover. No, she's not out the offense. What are you talking about? Boskovic is not out of the offense. Fast arm off the inside hand of the middle, and we are cooking once again. It's the Boskovic show now.
Look at this swing from Gabby.
Unbelievable.
She is in motion. She takes off from one area and jumps to a different one. But man, there just doesn't seem to be anything going wrong on VakifBank's side right now. They can do no wrong.
That will be the last time I ever say that Gabby's out the offense.
Yeah, nah, she's never out.
Never. Scognamillo comes in for Zhu Ting just to steady up the pass. Big trust in the youngster from Santarelli. Markova. 2-point ball game. Markova and Boskovic are not missing now.
And again, the defense is what's keeping VakifBank going. That was an excellent swing, and Kazo just popping in it, sitting there and letting it go up.
Santarelli knows his team are in a big hole at the moment. Kazut, it's a strong rotation again. Boskovic is on the back, but Markov is on the front. Dig. 6 is sat so high up on the crossbody from Hack. So high up. Kazut, look how high she is here. Steps up.
And again, utilizing the block, right? Pulling Chiaka to the left side so the right side opens up.
Libyan has one of the faster serves, and she fires one. Markova under pressure, but she's been great. She's hit that ball before. The overhead set, sharp angle is a play that we've seen already this evening.
Markova has been tested over and over, and she wavered a little bit in the pass there. Jansu gets her out of hot water, but that delivery could be what gets VakifBank over the edge.
Under pressure, they've been able to go high to the pins with the height they have, and that's been good enough. Out of rhythm. It's a good turn from Markova. Now she has a chance to be a hero again. She is a hero again. Guidetti's on the court, giving hugs out. It's not just the spiking, it's the reaction for the tip over the top. And she can't believe it. Okay. An hour ago, Imoco were clear in the set 3. Pegged back, little by little. Boskovic coming forward into this game. Markova a threat on the pin. I don't think anyone at the end or halfway through the third set could have predicted this moment here. It looked like Imoco, with the calmness, the experience that they have, were clear, home and dry. But VakifBank answered every single question. And now they're 3 points to the good in the race to 15. Kazut again sitting up high on Hack on that sharp angle. Crossbody! Markova!
This is VakifBank. The pendulum swinging between the two hot hitters is Boskovic 1 minute. It's Markova now. And between the two of them, Conegliano do not have a response.
And last year, Guidetti knew that it wasn't quite the time for Markova on that left side. Tonight has been the time. Yes, there's been errors, but in big moments, she's made touches, she's passed, she's been an absolute go-getter. Adegriwa is in. This is last chance saloon for Santarelli. He knows he has to make the double substitution. The American Ewert is in, who was the best setter in the German league just last year, but it doesn't matter who's in. VakifBank Istanbul are flying towards a 10th EV Champions League final.
Everything that Boskovic and Markova touch is turning to gold. Their confidence has to be through the roof right now. This is exactly what they're playing for.
Well, these clubs met 3 times for gold in the past. VakifBank lead that head-to-head 2-1. VakifBank won in the semis 3-2 in 17-18. Zhu Ting scored 24 points that evening, and it looks like they're going to do them again. Character needed for Imoco. Gabby has character in abundance.
If there's anyone right now that you can rely on to take Conegliano on your shoulders, it's Gabby. That kind of solution, knowing she's going up against a 2-block, to have the clarity to go line and just whip it in that direction, not a lot of players do.
VakifBank side out for match point. Pass is solid. You see Kazut, you can see her celebrating when the pass is strong. That's what it means to her defensively, but they haven't won the point yet. Best chance, Markova goes high! And it's VakifBank Istanbul who have 5 match points. They were dead and buried in this game. They worked their way back, and now they are 1 away from going to the Champions League final. Cansu Özbay, who had a wonderful run of serves in that third set, will serve. The crowd are on their feet, but Gabby.
Talk about silencing the crowd. I mean, to have that kind of clarity to take a big swing in that moment, only Gabby is the person I would be setting then.
Only Gabby, but they need 4. 4 breaks in a row. Second match point. First time siding out. Markova hasn't missed. Has missed now. That's 2. 3-point ball game. Guidetti now wants a challenge. I think that's just to slow things down.
Oh, I don't know about taking this challenge. I think that was clear out. If anything, you don't want to slow down the match right now. You want to let your team play. You have all the momentum, all the energy.
Well, I think it's trying to just make Gabby sweat a little bit from behind the service line. See if she takes a little bit off of the ball. This has been a game that will not be forgotten. Was there a block touch? Team Michael is pointing at the screen and then wagging a finger. No, no, no, no, no.
Nope, nope, nope, nope.
Nope.
Nope, nope, nope, nope.
How about nope?
How about nope?
Gabby again, third match point. VakifBank looking to get back. There might be a lift. There is no lift taken. This is a chance to get back to 2. VakifBank is struggling to close this out. They might have a chance now. Boskovic hasn't had a turn. She now has a turn. There's a net touch. VakifBank Istanbul produce one of the greatest comebacks in Champions League history to go to a 10th final. Markova hero, it's too much.
If you would have told me an hour ago that this is how the match would end, I would not have believed you. I still have goosebumps because this is one of the best Champions League matches we have seen possibly ever.
Imoco 2-0 up, multiple match points. VakifBank pegged them back, took them to 5, and took their opportunity in a game that was just outstanding. You have to feel for the reigning champs. There will be no three-peat for Imoco. And after losing 2 matches in the Final Four last year, VakifBank are back playing for gold. For Boskovic, it will be a second final. For Markova, it will be a second final. For VakifBank, there's 7 in their team that remain from 2023 when they beat Ekshakabasi. They go to the final. Imoco will be devastated. It looked confirmed that they would be going again to the CV Champions League final. But if that match, as Guidetti can enjoy these moments with his family, never, ever, ever give up. You have to spare a thought for Kira Keller with an ACL injury, and Dangabitsu was pulled out. Great shots for VakifBank. Boskovic and Markova, we knew coming into this game they would have to bring it. And from set 3, they certainly brought it. A special evening as Key is now courtside with Marina Markova.